takes a snap, looks right, back to the left. It's a screen. Help is ahead for first down yardage. Goal line, touchdown. Shift into cover 3. Fumble.
Picked up by Bedford. Rizzo with the touchdown.
Looks to throw it again. Looks to his left. Delivers over the middle. Oh, it's picked off. Tyler Farrell. They fake it to Rizzo over the middle. Open. Soden. He's got it. He's at the 10 to 5. He's in for a touchdown.
Good afternoon and welcome to a gorgeous Bedford High Stadium. A perfect day. Sun is out. Temperatures are near 60 degrees. I'm Harry Kozlowski here recording Munster Tiger, ready to bring you the start of the journey to a potential third championship for the Bulldogs. They are the two-time defending champs. They're taking on the Alvirne Broncos today. And Corey, this is a team that we haven't seen since 2015.
Yeah, talented team, 6-3 throughout the regular season. They beat Concord last week to get here to the quarterfinal against the number 1 seed Bedford Bulldogs. Should be a phenomenal game this afternoon. The Bulldogs have been off for a week. They earned the bye. They've gotten healthy. They have their starting playoff team ready to go, and I believe they're chomping at the bit from everything we hear.
And the winner of this game is playing for the privilege of taking on the Astros of Pinkerton, who defeated Wyndham last night. They played their game on Friday night, and that was a close defensive battle. They won that one 14-6. We had a chance to speak with the coach a couple of days ago about the team and their scouting into this game, and let's listen to them right now. Coach?
We're speaking with Coach Zach Matthews of the Bulldogs, coming off a bye and a 9-0 regular season, and they're beginning their playoff push Saturday against the Broncos of Alvirne. Coach, last time we saw the Bulldogs play, starting quarterback Jack May sat out the King game because of illness. Is Jack ready to play this week, and are there any other players that might be limited to play on Saturday?
You know, I think, Harry, I think we're in a really good place right now. That's one of the benefits of the bye week, but it gives you a chance we practiced 3 times still, but the kids had some time off. You give your athletes that are managing some injuries a little bit of time to get off their feet and let those things heal. So at this point in time, we're lucky enough to have all of our guys healthy and ready to go for Saturday.
I assume you and your staff spent the weekend scouting that Broncos win over Concord. What did you see in that game? Also, how involved are your players like quarterback Jack May in scouting, breaking down film, and preparing your game plan?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, to be honest, the coaches are the ones that are scouting and breaking down game film and game planning. When it comes to the players, we do ask them to watch film, but we really attempt to kind of guide their film study and tell them specific things they should be looking for and looking at. But as far as the game plan is concerned and scouting, our coaching staff does a really good job of not only getting out to games, but really breaking down the game film and trying to analyze where people are at. So we certainly are going to have our hands full. Alvirne's having a really good season. They have a couple really good players. They got a really good receiver. Their quarterback is a pretty good passer. And so I think we're going to have to put them in some situations they don't want to be in, but I certainly feel good about where our kids are at and them grasping the concepts that we really need them to on both sides of the ball.
Now, you go into this tournament as a 2-time defending champs. No doubt every team is going to do whatever they can to take you down. How do your players respond to that pressure of being the team that everybody's coming for?
I mean, I think at this point in time, it's something we've been talking about for 2 years. And so, we've been talking about always having a target on our back. And we know that for everybody else, every time they play us, it's their Super Bowl. It's their championship. They want to be the team to stop our win streak. They want to be the team to, stop our consecutive titles here. And so our kids know what's at stake. We're used to getting everybody's best shot. And I think those things are just magnified once you get to the playoffs because everybody knows it's win or go home at this point.
There was a great story in the Union Leader about former Bulldog Ryan Toscano, who's the senior captain now at UNH. Ryan was part of the 2018 championship team, which was right before you joined the program. Do you keep up with any of your former players when they graduate and play football or other sports in college? And do former players ever come back and speak to the current players?
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky here at Bedford High School and to have a lot of kids who are participating in sports at the next level, and a lot of the kids that that I've coached here, but also guys like Ryan, being able to develop a relationship with them throughout the community and throughout the football program is great. Ryan was one of those kids. It's just the type of kid he is, but he was a young man who reached out to me and welcomed me to Bedford, and we were fortunate enough to, develop a little bit of a relationship. And so there's definitely opportunities for some of those older athletes, the guys who've been through the experiences, to come back and talk to our players. And certainly as we get to postseason time, it's a lot more common for us to get visitors of past players coming by practice, checking in on the team, and just letting our guys know that, Bedford football is still important to them, even though they're years removed from participating in our program. It's a pretty special thing to be a part of.
Coach, thank you. Good luck on Saturday, and I'm hoping we'll be speaking again next week.
Yeah, look forward to speaking to you next week, Harry. Let's hope that happens.
Indeed, we do. Let's hope the Bulldogs can advance and take on those Astros next week, and we'll have a chance to speak with Coach Matthews once again. We're just moments away from kickoff, and Corey, we're going to have Jack May back behind center. Jack didn't play the Keene game, but he ended up the season with 1,377 yards on 95 attempts. Or correction, it's 95 completions on 135 attempts, a total of 1,377 yards. That's an average of 172 yards a game and a 700 passing percentage.
Yeah, an impressive performance throughout the regular season by Jack May, and that's not even including that last game. As we said, he was out with a sickness against Keene. Substituting for him was Bennett Matthews, again showing his tremendous athletic ability. Future Division I lacrosse player, standout on the lacrosse team, standout, of course, on this football team, and playing out of position, if you will. He was a quarterback growing up, and now he hasn't really taken snaps from center in the last couple of years, and that was just an impressive performance to be able to step right in and guide that team to a 28-0 victory down in Keene.
Yeah, Bennett didn't throw it as much last week or 2 weeks ago against Keene. 6 of 10, 101 yards passing. He was sacked one time, no touchdowns. However, on the ground, he was very impressive. Matthews, 8 carries for 142 yards. He scored 3 touchdowns against Keene.
Yeah, and 2 of those runs made up for over 100 yards. I mean, I think he had a 55, 56-yard run and another 48-yard run, something like that. So two runs making up the majority of that yardage on the ground. And again, just a tremendous athlete. Anywhere you put him on this offense, he's a threat.
And of course, Brody Helton is Bedford's workhorse on the ground, finishing with 1,145 yards on 138 carries, 15 touchdowns. He had probably his least effective game against Keene, but they really didn't use him that much. 11 carries, 86 yards, and a single touchdown.
Again, I think they were just in cruise mode, honestly. No offense to the Keene team, but they had their season wrapped up. Keene wasn't really playing for much. Again, your starting quarterback is not there. I think they were just in cruise control, specifically in that second half. Get up early, make sure you have enough points to settle in, and then keep it in cruise control. Make sure nobody gets hurt.
While we're waiting for the teams to get on the field and for the coin toss and for the anthem as well, we're going to share some information for you. If Bedford does win this game, the Division I semifinal will be played here at Bedford High School Stadium Friday, November 22nd. It'll be a Friday night game, and our broadcast will begin at 6:40 p.m. But then right around the corner, let's get you ready for winter sports season. We're getting ready with basketball. We're going to open our winter sports broadcast season on BCTV and Bedford 105.1 with boys basketball against Nashua North, always a strong program. That's going to be on Monday, December 16th at 7 p.m. And then a couple of days after that, on the 20th, we've got our first boy-girl double-header against Bishop Girton, of our biggest rival, you could say. Boys team will play at 6:30 and the girls will play at 8 o'clock. And we're going to have all those games for you both on BCTV as well as Bedford 105.1.
Geez, that's late breaking news for me, too. I better put those on my calendar.
Yes, you should.
Okay, fair enough.
Get on the master schedule so you know when you're going to be needed.
Absolutely. So I don't see the inflatable bulldog down over here to the right. I'm guessing that has to do with the windy conditions that we're seeing this afternoon. The flag is nearly straight out. So
yeah, they were actually trying to inflate it later, and I think they gave up. I think it's, we don't need the bulldog tumbling across the field, on a crucial third down.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That would be quite a sight. I'm sure Bill
We've
Jennings.
got an escape bulldog.
I'm sure Bill.
How big is it? About 40 feet.
Bill and Andrew would love to see that.
Yes, indeed.
Teams just getting ready to come onto the field now. The Bulldogs assembled down to our right-hand side. The Broncos coming down the hill to our left to reapproach the field after their warm-ups and then moments back in the locker room and their final preparations. We should be just about ready for kickoff here in a few minutes.
Yeah, it's been a dream season for the Alvirne Broncos. And I should mention, by the way, that we are being rebroadcast on Hudson TV, so all the Bronco fans are watching the broadcast. We're glad that you're along with us and hope you'll enjoy this this game between Bedford and Alvirne. But they've had a terrific season. You know, they, like I mentioned before, the Bulldogs and the Broncos hadn't played each other since 2015. And the Broncos, in that time span between 2015 and 2024, they dropped down to Division II for a season or two. Then they had, everybody kind of got tripped up by the COVID year, and now they're back up in Division I, and they're just having a fabulous year.
They sure are. Started out 3-0 this year, then had 2 tough games. One against Wyndham, who was a surprise win 2 weeks ago against, let's see, who was that? They had an upset in the first round, and then were able to play Pinkerton, again, keeping them to low points. They upset Salem in the first round.
That's right.
That was a big surprise. Low-scoring game, 8-7. Moved on, played Pinkerton, and held Pinkerton to just 14 points, too, so that Wyndham defense was stout.
Yeah, it was definitely a defensive battle. I caught a little of that on FNL last night, and it was definitely a tooth and nail, hard-fought game in the trenches between the Astros and the Wyndham Jaguars.
So anyway, Alvirne started out 3-0, lost to Wyndham and Londonderry back-to-back, actually got shut out to Londonderry, and then won a few games in a row before dropping their last game against Pinkerton. We'll take a quick timeout for the anthem and join you here for playoff action here from Bedford High School.
Who are able to please stand. Remove your hats, and please bring your attention to the flag of the United States of America. And now, to honor America, our national anthem.
Bedford band performing the national anthem, and a note to our Hudson viewers, the Alvirne band will be performing at halftime, so we'll have that for you as well. Looking forward to seeing the Bronco marching band on the field. We'll have that for you at halftime. Captains making their way out to the field right now for the coin flip.
Yeah, Harry, we talked about this season for Alvirne so far. They've been averaging 25 points a game, so a potent offense really leading the way. Their defense letting up about 20 points per game, 20.33 throughout the regular season. So not too far off from each other. The Bulldogs, on the other hand, averaging 35 points a game. In fact, I think they had 6 games that ended exactly on 35 points, letting up just 10 points on the defensive side of the ball. So a dominant season. Again, of course, the Bulldogs undefeated, earning that #1 seed. Pretty excited and high expectations, honestly, through that regular season. I think some folks were a little skeptical if this year's Bulldogs team was going to carry on that tradition of the last 2. And as they danced through the regular season, they were showing they had some merit of their own.
Well, they're on a 2-year unbeaten streak so far, so they're doing something right. Captains on the field, of course. Bulldogs, number 3, Bennett Matthews. Number 4, Noah Casamacino. Number 71, Connor Flaherty. And number 57, Jake Sheff.
Sorting through the coin toss now. Looks like Alvirne won the toss, and they'll defer.
So the Bulldogs will get the ball first, and we should acknowledge the seniors from Alvirne as well, number 12, Charles Crawford, number 13, Ryan Rocheleau, number 51, Shane Boudreau, and I think number 54, Shane Mackey was the other one of the four.
Captains back to their teams. Excitement is in the air, Harry. Playoff football here from Bedford High School. 12 minutes on the board. Just about ready for kickoff on a blustery day here in Bedford, New Hampshire.
Blustery indeed. You can probably hear our field mic is picking up a lot of that wind. We're going to run it a little low so it's not too distracting. But it's really, for me, it's a little strange watching the Bulldogs play in the bright sunlight. They're usually a night team. They play Friday, they play Saturday, but they usually play at night.
Friday, Saturday, nighttime, daytime, any way you cut it. AC/DC is ready to kick us off. A little thunderstruck. Ball's getting teed up on the 40-yard line. And as you mentioned, the Bulldogs will have their offense take the field to start things. Number 51, Shane Boudreau, will kick things off for us for the Alvirne Broncos. And we are just about ready to go for kickoff. Matthews and Helton back deep to receive. Sorry, Harry.
That's right. I was just going to say that.
Approach
the ball
comes through.
falls off the tee.
And as we were talking about those windy conditions, blew the ball off the tee right at an inopportune time. So Shane Boudreau wisely decided to step through and not kick that. Very unfortunate and awkward position for a kicker. Having been one myself, I know that feeling. It can be dangerous, actually, if you don't see it and step through and whiff on it.
A split second later would have been an unintentional onside kick.
Take two, here it comes. Swings through, it's a short kick taken at the 25 by one of the upbacks. Bedford left side, far side, dancing through a few and getting out to about the 38-yard line was returner number 33, Bryson Durso. And the Bulldogs will take over on their own. 37 is where the ball was marked. And they will have 1st and 10.
Bulldogs usually like to defer. They didn't have the chance to do it this time, but you know, when they played Nashua South the other day, a couple of weeks ago, they won the toss and took the ball because they wanted to get up early, and maybe they're going to apply that same strategy here.
3 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left for Jack May, your starting quarterback this afternoon. Man in motion right to left is Westcott. He'll reset on that left side. Fake to Helton. Wide receiver screen out to the right-hand side. Here's Elsmore. It's complete. Out for a 9, almost 10-yard gain. Close to those first down sticks on 1st and 10. And the Bulldogs start pretty quickly here.
Yeah, I think everybody had their eyes on Helton getting the ball first. Bedford usually opens up on the ground. Instead, they throw the wide receiver screen to Elsmore, and he guts out 10 yards right there, picks up the first down.
Nice downfield stock block by Bennett Matthews, too, springing Elsmore for a few more yards. Too tight, 2 wings formation. May reverse pivots, hands it to Helton. He goes off the left side. Over the left tackle, out for a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 as the Bulldogs get into Alvirne territory on the second play from scrimmage.
Yeah, good tackle there. Jeremiah Yee was the first Bronco in the backfield, tripping up Helton on that play. So 2nd down coming up and about 4. Or 6, I should say. They gained 4.
Ball's on the Alvirne 49-yard line. Bulldogs back to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Helton to the right of May in the backfield. In the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it off to Helton. He dances as he avoids first contact, gets ahead for 6, maybe 7 yards, and another first down for the Bulldogs.
Caden Cox and Gabe Conroe, 2 of the Bronco tacklers involved on that, but it's another first down for Helton and the Bulldogs.
You see right there, Helton experienced some pressure right as he took the handoff from May, was able to jump cut to his right and find a little seam there to get ahead for a 7-yard gain. Well done by Helton. Junior running back carrying the load. Too tight, 2 wing set for May again. Helton stacked in behind him. He takes the snap, hands it off. Helton off to the right-hand side. Ahead for 6 or 7 yards. Great first down run for the Bulldogs. And they're really testing this Alvirne defense here in this first drive.
Ryan Rocheleau on that tackle, along with Michael Landmesser, able to bring down Helton. And Helton's touched the ball now 4 times in a row.
Why not? He's your workhorse. Lean on him heavy. Great blocking at the point of attack, springing him ahead for 6 yards. 2nd and 4. two receivers left, slot left. One receiver split out to the right. They'll hand it to Casamassino going to the left-hand side. He tries to get out beyond that left tackle, and he'll be stopped after a 2-yard gain. Ball's on the Alvirne 34-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Quentin Tetreault for the Broncos played a key role there. He was able to cut off a lane for Casamassino, forcing him to the outside, and they were able to bring him down before he got to the sticks.
3rd and 2 for the Bulldogs. Too tight, two-wing set. Helton stacked behind May. He takes the snap, hands it off straight up the middle, and now a jump cut to the right, getting ahead for first down yardage as he gets marked just about the 30 or 31. Either way, it's enough for a first down for the Bulldogs.
Gabe Conroe on the tackle, one of the tacklers for the Broncos. You know, and the Bulldogs are really fighting for every yard on the ground. These Broncos are putting up a stiff defense. It's not been easy for the Bulldogs to get those yards, but they're getting them.
4 down linemen for the Alvirne Broncos. May takes the snap, rolls to his right, dishes out to that right flat, but he skips it to Ellsmore, incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Ellsmore was watched closely by Landmesser, so he probably would have been taken down right at the spot. Would have been a short gain, but I think the wind might have pushed the ball down.
Possibly. Either way, not a great throw for May. We have an injury here near side. The cornerback just...
Landmesser is on the ground here holding on to his leg. Not sure when that happened. Really no contact was made.
Perhaps a cramp. Perhaps he got hit with a Charlie horse. Either way, he seems to be in pain. Yeah, Ellsmore just ran a quick 5-yard stop route, was trying to get that ball out near the sidelines, and May rolling to his right. Just not a great throw, so incomplete as they look at Landmesser and try to figure out what's going on. Looks like to be a lower leg injury of some sort.
And as we wait for the trainers to do their job, let's remind everybody that BCTV's live channels and on-demand content are easy to access with the Bedford Community Television app, available for free download on Apple iOS and Android Play Store. Download the Bedford Community Television app from your app store and enjoy our programming on demand or live anywhere you are and you've got an internet signal.
Junior defensive back Michael Landmesser is back on his feet. Good to see him walking to the sideline. Doesn't seem to be too serious of an injury, so we'll keep our eyes open to see him back on the field. Logan Charland will come in his place. 4 receivers set for May. Slot right, split left, wing left. Helton to his left, takes the handoff. He goes a little misdirection play and gets stopped after a 1-yard gain. They mark him at the 30-yard line. 3rd and 9 for the Bulldogs. Probably in 4-down territory as they're on the Alvirne 30-yard line heading in.
Andrew Dealey, one of the tacklers there for the Broncos. This is a pretty big 3rd down for the Bulldogs. They're out of field goal range. It's pretty windy, so I don't know if a long field goal is really in the cards here.
Definitely not. Chunk plays here again. Just consider it 2 downs to get that 1st down. Slot right, slot left for May. Helton to his left in the backfield. He's in the gun. He claps his hands. Takes the pass. Passes to Bennett Matthews, complete over the middle, and he's got some room. Flag down. He's heading towards the pylon. He's in, but there is a flag down back at the 17-yard line. Likely a block in the back or some kind of holding penalty. Great play again by Matthews, and I think they got Suazo for a block in the back. So,
well, here's the question. How are they going to spot that? Will they give Bulldogs the 1st down and then mark them back, or will they mark them back and make it a 3rd and even longer?
I believe that would be a spot foul, so it will still be 3rd down. And the officials are talking it over on that far sideline near the 17-yard line where the foul occurred. They call it a hold. To me, it looked like a block in the back on that replay. Thank you for Replay Jones back in the studio for getting that view there. So it is a holding penalty, and it is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So they spotted at the 27-yard line. It is still 3rd down, and it looks like about 6 yards. So take 2. Nicely designed play, a little drag route for Bennett Matthews across the middle from right to left.
Yeah, you hate to see that happen where you come up with a fantastic play. I'm sure that's one that Coach Matthews has been saving for just for such a moment, and you burn it, and a penalty, basically takes it off the board.
Yeah, downfield block too, and you're just trying to spring him. He did, but unfortunately they called the hold. Helton goes in motion out of the backfield. Swing pass picked off by Alvirne. Stepping into the passing lane, number 13, Ryan Rocheleau. And May is picked off by Alvirne in this opening drive. Nice job there by Rocheleau. Sat in his lane, roved over to his left side and picked it off from that linebacker position. Goes out of bounds outside of the 30. They mark him at the 33, and a huge play there for the Broncos.
Even bigger when you realize that Bennett Matthews had a touchdown on the play before. They got erased by a holding call, and then the following play turns into a turnover for the Bulldogs. 7-point swing right there, and the Alvirne Broncos are in business.
Quick change here, and the Bulldogs defense needs to respond. Alvirne, 3 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. They'll hand it off to the back. He's coming out of the backfield. He's got some room to run. Down the left-hand sideline, that's Michael Landmesser. And he is back on the field feeling no ill effects from that injury on that first drive. He's pushed out of bounds at the Bedford 40-yard line, so a big gainer for Landmesser.
Yeah, real speedy move right there. He was able to cut to his left and get around the traffic jam in front of him. He goes down the sideline with some speed, gets into Bedford territory. That's about a, trying to calculate in my head here, about a 27-yard run.
Sounds about right to me, as they started on the 33. And back to the line of scrimmage. Crawford in the shotgun again. Tight left, wing right. 4 receivers set. Landmesser to his right. Barks out the signals, takes the snap. Fakes to Landmesser. They hit a quick run over the middle. Ahead for first down yardage again. Pass complete that time to Ryan Rocheleau. And the Alvirne Broncos move the sticks again. They're at the Bedford 25. 2 plays later, and they're already knocking on the door of the red zone.
Now, Landmesser actually moved before the snap. He went to his side. I don't know if that kind of motion is allowed, but he did make a movement before the snap of the ball.
Geez, it looked pretty clean to me. I think he was faking out to the right-hand side, trying to draw up that linebacker. 4 receivers set again here for Crawford. He takes the snap, hands it off to Landmesser. He goes to the right-hand side, looking for room, gets out beyond that right tackle and ahead for about a 4-yard gain, close to the 20-yard line, heading in Bedford territory.
Good tackle there from behind by James Temulevich.
They mark him down at the 21-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Broncos. 0-0 is your score, 6:44 left here in the first quarter from Bedford High School Stadium. Crawford brings the Broncos offense back to the line of scrimmage. 5 receivers set as he's empty. Crawford barks out the signals. Man in motion right to left. They hand it to him. That's Landmesser again, and he's stopped for a 4, maybe even 5-yard loss.
Not fooled.
Nice job there by Helton coming across.
Yeah, the Bulldogs had that sniffed out pretty well, and Helton was the first linebacker there to take Landmesser down, and it's a loss back to the original line, or almost. It's going to be 3rd down and 9 here.
3rd and 9, yeah. We'll give credit to Brennan Krause, too, staying home, moving his feet laterally and sniffing that one out early. 4 receivers set for Crawford. He's in the shotgun. Landmesser to his left, takes the snap, looks downfield, over the middle. Now he's going to run. Pulls it down, pulls up before the line of scrimmage, delivers downfield. It's complete. First down yardage inside the 10. And the Broncos are in business here.
Oh, what
First and goal for the Broncos.
Huge conversion here. Garrett Hall, the receiver, the big tight end, parked at the sideline and waiting for the ball. And Crawford had to really escape the pocket. He was under some pressure there. So he showed a lot of poise finding Garrett Hall for that conversion on 3rd and long, and now they're in business on goal to go.
Momentarily looked like Crawford was going to tuck it and run, but he saw Hall downfield. 4 receivers set again for Crawford. They hand it off up the middle. finding a little bit of space inside the 5-yard line. Again, that's Landmesser pushing ahead through the middle. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 4. Alvirne threatening here early. Inside 5 minutes in the first quarter. Again, 0-0 is your score. But the Broncos knocking on the door. After the first drive, Jack May threw an interception. Rocheleau stepping in, taking it back out to the 33-yard line, and the Alvirne Broncos offense has been rolling since. 4 receiver set for Crawford. Landmesser to his right. He's in the shotgun, takes the snap. Landmesser takes the handoff, goes off to the left-hand side. He's in for a touchdown. Michael Landmesser, 4-yard touchdown run. Puts the Broncos ahead 6-0 with the extra point to come.
Big hole opened up. Landmesser found it. He was going to his left and cut up. Found that lane to the end zone, barely touched. And the Broncos up 6 here, waiting for the extra point.
Sean Boudreau will make the attempt for Alvirne. Kick is up. It is no good. He pushed it out to the right-hand side. So stays 6-0 as Alvirne makes good on their first offensive drive of the game on the 4-yard touchdown run by Michael Landmesser.
It is easy to listen to Bedford 105.1 online. Just go to wbnh.bedfordnh.org or our new web address, bedford1051.com, and you'll find a stream link at our website. You can also stream on phone apps like TuneIn, MyTuner, Simple Radio, and Radio Garden. And if you have an Alexa device at home, just say, Alexa, play Bedford 105.1.
Well, I think it's appropriate to quote Mike Tyson given his fight last night. He always said, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. The Bedford Bulldogs getting punched in the mouth here early. 4:27 to go on the clock in this first quarter. Alvirne marches down the field on their first offensive drive and stuffs it in the end zone. 6-0 Alvirne, and the Bulldogs have not found themselves behind very much this season.
No, they haven't, but there were a few games where they have. I think the Pinkerton game was one and the Nashua South game was another. They were able to respond. I think the difference in this game, though, is they've rarely seen a team with such a balanced attack, passing and running.
Kick goes down to about the 25-yard line, again taken by Durso. The Alvirne Broncos sideline is pointing in the direction that they might have covered a fumble. It's still being battled for on the ground. We'll see what the officials say. They're talking it over right now. And no, they do not get the ball. It's marked at the 41-yard line. And Bulldogs faithful are pleased about that. There are a few moments of uncertainty there as the entire Alvirne side was pointing in their offensive direction.
Yeah, that would have been really tough to have happen 2 in a row, turnovers like that.
Alvirne makes good on the pass, the interception by May, but now he's out and has 3 receivers set, 2 backs in the backfield. They hand it to Westcott. He goes to the right-hand side, getting out beyond the right tackle and finding a seam. He gets through into the second level and into Alvirne territory. He's marked down at the 42. First down run by Dustin Westcott. Bulldogs moving their offense. We'll see how things loosen up and maybe open up the playbook a little bit here.
Yeah, Bulldogs working in some newer numbers into their attack here. Westcott is somebody who hasn't seen a lot of use in the regular season.
I would say he was one of those secondary offensive players. Decent amount of playing time. A touch here and there, a reception here and there. 3 receivers bunched to the left-hand side. Stand-up tight end to the right. They'll run to the right with Helton. He's down to the 35-yard line. 7-yard gain for Helton, 2nd and 3. 3.5 to go here in the first quarter. The Alvirne Broncos leading 6-0 over the Bulldogs, with the Bulldogs trying to respond here. Their second offensive possession of the day. They wander back to the line of scrimmage. No urgency there. That's a little surprise. 3 receivers trip to the right-hand side. Helton takes the handoff, goes to the left. He's very close to that first down yardage at the 32. We'll see where the mark is.
The line judge looks like he's showing about a 6-inch shy of the first down mark, so I think 3rd and 1 is coming up here. 3rd and short.
We're going to take a look at it, and I think they're going to measure. The far side linesman. No, they're not. They're gonna point ahead. They're not gonna waste our time. Yeah, go ahead. Just give them the first down.
No, that's a quote from famous Pats and Bills games. I'll have to talk to you about that one.
Okay, fair enough. Inside 3 minutes here in the first quarter. The ball's at the 32-yard line in Broncos territory. The Bulldogs 1st and 10. Too tight, 2 wings set. May has Helton behind him. He takes the snap, hands it off to Helton, who takes it to the right side. Into that B gap ahead for, let's say, 4 yards.
Shane Mackey on the tackle.
They'll give him 5, so it'll be 2nd and 5. The Bulldogs, again, facing that quick change after the interception by Ryan Rochelow. Stepped into that passing lane. Nice job reading the quarterback. Range to his left-hand side. Now the Bulldogs trying to bounce back from both the score as well as the turnover. May has trips bunched to the right-hand side. He takes the snap, hands to Helton. Goes to the right-hand side. Tough tackle there. He was up and around the neck.
I think Helton is saying he got his face mask grabbed. He might have. The officials are not showing anything, though.
Up in that neck area, potential horse collar or face mask. Neither of them, though, as big number 72, Andrew Dealey, on the stop. Defensive tackle. Looks to be quite tall in stature and wrapped him up, and for Helton, that was head height. Back to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 3 for the Bulldogs offense. 2 tights, 2 wings. Westcott goes in motion left to right. May takes the snap, looks down over the middle, shuffles to the left, passes out to the left-hand flat.
Gonna be short.
Complete to Matthews, and it is short of that first down. But again, we're in that similar territory as we were before. 4-down territory. It looks to be 4th and 1. And I have no question that Coach Matthews is going to go for this one. Ball is at the 23-yard line. Needs just 1 yard, maybe a long one.
You know, it looked like the ball was bobbing a little bit. Matthew had to compose himself for that split second. That was just long enough to get dragged down by Fender.
Honestly, good coverage, too. And now we have a wishbone formation. May goes under center. Very unusual as he's going to take the snap. Reverse pivot. Flag down. Helton was through that line of scrimmage and with the races, but I believe we have a false start. As that came down and they blew it dead very quickly.
Penalties again hurting the Bulldogs. It looked like Helton was going to be home free to the end zone.
Tough call there for the Bulldogs. False start. Connor Flaherty, of note, was lined up backfield for the Bulldogs. He was that front back bone formation, and again, we have not seen Jack May under center all year. So Coach Matthews working on some variations to that offense. We'll have a 4th and 6 here.
Yeah, 5-yard field goal. Again, that's definitely not an option.
Not at all.
They are here.
We're ticking inside 20 seconds in this first quarter. The Bulldogs 0 as the Alvirne Broncos.
Stopped on downs, and once again you had a potential touchdown away by a penalty. Bulldogs burned once again by the
Tough one there. 0.8 seconds left in this first quarter. Aka stopped, of course, on the change of possession. Crawford trots back to the huddle for the Broncos as they'll get another play. We swap ends of the field. Crawford back to the line of scrimmage. 4 receivers set, 3 out, 1 split end to the left. Landmesser to his right in the backfield. Calls out the signals, snap. He'll keep it himself and go to the right-hand side. He's tackled quickly Not fooled by that one. Jake Sheff wraps him up and tackles him for a loss. Do it for the first quarter. The Bulldogs trail 6-0 after one.
And that's exactly what the Bulldogs need right there. We need some negative plays. The Broncos, courtesy of the defense, Sheff read the play, was able to drag down Crawford in the backfield, making it a second and 12, keep him behind the sticks. You know, the Broncos really have a great attack, as we saw on their first possession. Very balanced. They can run, they can throw. And we really haven't seen a team with that many weapons or that many ways to score. Usually we're seeing teams that are mostly run-oriented.
Quick hits for the Broncos as they were able to get Rochlow over the middle. Again, nice pass down the left-hand side for Garrett Hall on a big gainer. And yes, you're right, that approach is going to keep the defense off balance. They have a long field to go into the wind here in the second quarter. 12 minutes back on the board. They're going to change ends of the field and be down to our left side. White uniforms, tops and bottoms. Maroon numbers, gold helmets, little BC shades there.
Or if you're a fan of spring football, the Birmingham Stallions.
There you go. It'll be 2nd and 12 as they recorded as a 2-yard loss. Again, Sheff, great job. Tackle on Crawford. I prefer to call those positive plays for the Bulldogs instead of negative plays for the Broncos. 4 down linemen for the Bulldogs. 4 receivers set for Crawford. He has Landmesser to his right. He's in the shotgun, ready to go on 2nd down and 12. Takes the snap, looks out to his left, pulls it down, he ranges to his left and scrambles, heaves it downfield, he's got a man, it's complete! And out of bounds in Bedford territory, getting free behind the secondary.
Number 11, Quinton Tetro.
And
got
Tetro,
free down the sideline.
Tetro, I'm not sure how, but he got a nice soft spot in the defense. Caught it and stumbled out of bounds. All you need is 1 foot here in high school. They mark him at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Broncos inside Bulldog territory.
I don't know if you caught, but Tetro, very aware how close to the sideline he was, really planted his feet in bounds while making that catch, making sure that it was a good catch.
Sure, he might have even gotten 2 feet in. Slot right, tight left. Crawford in the gun. Surveys the field, takes the snap, hands it off to Landmesser. He's gobbled up quickly. Right at the line of scrimmage, maybe even just shy. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Brennan Krause said James Temulevich in on the tackle there. And it's going to be a very slight loss there, about half a yard. Call it 2nd and 10.
Bulldogs defense needing to flex here. Stiffen a bit, lock it down. They're being tested early by this Broncos offense. 4 receivers set, 2 out to the left, 2 to the right. Crawford has Landmesser to his right. He's in the shotgun. Motion goes left to right. Crawford fakes it that way. It's a triple fake. They hand it off, and it's coming back near side and tripped up. Ooh, tripped up hard.
Flag.
That was Quentin Tetro coming in on the stop. That was Dean Poltrinari from his left cornerback position.
I'm not sure who the flag is on. I mean, it came flying right as Tetro was upended. And what's the call against the Broncos?
I think it's a bad call, actually. They're going to call number 5, Gabe Conroe, on a block in the back. I don't even think he made contact. That's a tough one. We saw it there on the replay. Watch number 5 out here as he's trying to get a block downfield at the bottom of your screen near the 40-yard line, right here, ducking inside Poltrinari.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a bad call.
He literally put a finger on him.
I'm not even sure he made contact, but either way, very bad call.
He was like this. And I'm touching his shoulder.
Just a tap on the shoulder. The Bulldogs get a break there on that penalty.
That was really a tough call on the Broncos.
2nd and 16 for that Alvirne Broncos offense. The ball is marked on the Bedford 49-yard line. Crawford, 4 receivers set. Landmesser to his right. We have a penalty. I believe it's going to be a delay of game. It is. They'll march the Broncos back another 5.
Yeah, Coach Matt Lee not happy. barking at the sideline official that they didn't give the full allotment, or they started the clock too early.
Either way, they mark them 5 yards back further. It's 2nd and 21 for the Broncos. They need to get all the way to the Bulldogs 32, 33. Either way, it's a long ways away. But this Broncos defense has been making some chunk plays here this afternoon. Crawford, 4 receiver set, takes the snap, looks out to the right, pulls it down. He's going to scramble to his right. Delivers down to the right sideline. It's incomplete. He's actually pretty close to that first down yardage, but it tips off the fingertips of Ryan Rocheleau.
Crawford has had a lot of time here. He's had good protection. But I think part of it, too, is that Bedford's flooding the backfield. They're only rushing 3 and putting everybody else into pass coverage.
They sure are, dropping, making sure that they can cover throughout the field. 3 down linemen. Nickel set here, so similar personnel for the Bulldogs. As the Broncos come out with 3 receivers to the left-hand side, 1 split to the right. Crawford barking out the signals. Landmesser steps up. We're going to have
Another
a flag. Near side official throws it, and the play is blown dead. Probably some movement, and they'll march the Broncos back even further. 10:24 to go before halftime. The Broncos lead 6-0, and they're marching backwards with their offense at the moment.
3 penalties in a row for about 15 yards? 3 5-yarders?
Yeah, at least. We're at 3rd and 26. I think it's going to be 3rd and 21 or 31. As they are headed backwards on this possession. Ball will be marked at the Broncos 41. Again, they need to get all the way to the Bulldogs 33-yard line. So tough putt here for the Broncos. 3 receivers out to his right for Crawford. Fakes it, hands it off back. A little misdirection for Landmesser. He tries to get out to the left-hand side, finds some room, gets about to midfield. He's popped hard by Peter Suazo, who came up from his right cornerback position. And it'll be, let's say, 3rd and 17.
Matt Lee playing the field position game here, giving the handoff to his speedy running back there, number 29, Landmesser, able to get back about 10 yards, getting up to the 50-yard line, hoping to pin Bedford back on this punt.
So after several penalties, the Broncos will punt it away. Snap back from midfield, low snap, and he ranges to his right. The punter finally gets it off and kicks it away. It dribbles down at about the 22-yard line, out of bounds, and Sean Boudreau looked like he might run it for a second or two.
Yeah, he definitely gave that vibe. You know, I think he was teasing the Bedford defenders, like, hey, look at me. I might take off. I might not. I might.
He does not take off, punts it away. And the Bulldogs will have possession at their own 22-yard line, is where I believe, actually the 21.
But, you know, doing that, I think he's giving up some yardage on the punt.
Sure, not able to set his feet, not able to get it off in a smooth fashion. That could have been a product of the low snap, as Boudreau took that snap at his shoelaces, pulling it off the turf. 4 receiver set here for May. He takes the snap, a little reverse pivot, toss sweep out to the right-hand side for Helton. Gets ahead for 2 yards. Tackled after just about 2, so it'll be 2nd and 8.
Don't have any stats to quote here, but the feeling I get is that they're really focusing on Helton, really limiting his yardage. Most of his carries have been only for 3 yards or less.
And of course, that penalty on 4th and short, he had popped through that heavy defensive front, was dancing through and had daylight, but called back because of a penalty. May with 4 receivers, 2 out to the right, 2 to the left. Helton to his left in the backfield, he's in the shotgun. Helton motion out to the left-hand side, swing pass out for Helton, he's got it. It's complete, he's close to the 29-yard line. Still short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Bennett Matthews was the lead blocker there, unable to move his man enough out of the way to get that first down.
Good job of stock blocking.
Yeah.
Not getting a penalty, but number 17, Christopher Darby, was able to shed the block and make a good open field tackle on Helton.
Yeah, that's a difference maker. So instead of giving up a first down, now it's going to be 3rd and about 3. Bulldogs have been seeing a lot of 3rd downs today.
They call it 3rd and 2 on the scoreboard. We're at 8 minutes to go in the first half. The Bulldogs on their own 29-yard line. They motion back to a too-tight, two-wing set, and they hand it to Helton. He goes to the right-hand side. He stopped. He did not get it. He just gets back to the line of scrimmage, and it's 4th and 2 for the Bulldogs. And it looks like Coach Matthews is considering going for it here.
Well, Helton is the punter, so he could decide to take off. We'll see what happens here. Could be a quick kick. Could be an actual attempt. Could be a fake. But
either way, that play clock is ticking. May trots back to the huddle. It looks like they're going to go for it here.
Bulldogs trailing in this one 6-0. 7:23 to go here in the second.
Showing some faith in your offense. 3 receivers set out to the right. Excuse me, 2 right, 2 left. Helton to the right. Yeah, they're going to quick kick. Helton takes the snap, punts it away. Nobody back for the Broncos as they needed to defend. They get a great bounce. It bounced at about the 36-yard line, and it gets a 10-ish yard bounce forward. So the quick kick works. They flip the field, and the Broncos will take over on their own 26-yard line.
Trying to find my notes here, slipping away. If the Bulldogs win this game, they will be playing the semifinal against the Pinkerton Astros, and that game will be broadcast next Friday night at 6:40 p.m. That's on the 22nd of November. Again, they have to win this game. They are trailing 6-0 right now.
They have some work to do before they get to Friday night, that's for sure. 7 minutes to go in this first half. The Broncos lead 6-0 here in Bedford. Crawford with a 4-receiver set. Landmesser to his right. Takes the snap, hands it off to Landmesser. He goes to the left-hand side, tries to get out beyond that left tackle and does. He's still on his feet, plowing ahead.
I really thought they had him down earlier. He got lost in the wash.
He sure did. Kept his balance, kept his feet moving, and gets a first down for the Broncos. They mark him at the 37-yard line. First down, Alvirne.
Yeah, he dragged a bunch of Bulldogs with him.
Great balance, great strength there by Michael Landmesser, the junior running back. And given his workload on offense, it's lucky that he recovered well from that first drive defensive stand where he was helped off the field. Crawford back to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers out to the left in a slot formation. They hand it off to Landmesser, off to the right-hand side.
Great
Spins ahead. Couple pushes and shoves after the whistle. Couple players getting salty on a 5-yard run by Landmesser.
You know, that ability to spin out of a tackle buys you at least 3 yards. And Landmesser was wrapped up probably right before the 40-yard line, but just being able to spin out and lunge forward gets you another 2.5 yards.
Sure does. Combination of balance and strength. Landmesser showing both here. I think they give him 6 yards there, so it'll be 2nd and 4. Inside 6 minutes to go in the first half here. Again, 6-0 Broncos. 4 down linemen for the Bulldogs. 4 receivers set for Crawford. He takes the snap, hands it off to Landmesser, going out to the right-hand side, close to first down yardage. They'll mark him near the 47, and they signal a first down and move the chains again.
A little bit of indecision or something with that handoff. The ball, Landmesser had to reach back to pull the ball in because Crawford didn't completely hand it off to him.
Looked like he was keeping his eyes downfield too, maybe an option play or even a RPO, run pass option. Wasn't quite sure what was going on downfield as I was focused more on the ball, but there definitely was some indecision there as it was not quickly and firmly put in the breadbasket for Landmesser. 3 receivers out to the left-hand side, tight right. Crawford surveys the scene, takes the snap, hands it off. Landmesser tries the left-hand side. Doesn't get far as Kraus had his shirt tail and waited for some help.
Yeah, literally the tiger by the tail waiting for help to bring Landmesser down.
They do not give him a yard. He's right at the original line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 10.
That's where a tearaway jersey would have been handy.
Absolutely. take a timeout for the officials. I think the far side official felt the ball was a little bit farther forward, perhaps discussing the spot. We're at 4:34 in the first half, and yeah, they are going to update the spot. They give them 1 yard on that, so they correct the positioning of the football. 2nd and 9 as it's marked on the Broncos' own 49-yard line. 4.5 to go in this first half.
Don't forget, the Alvirne Band is going to be performing live at halftime here. We'll stay on camera to bring it to you.
3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Crawford keeps it himself. He brings it to the right-hand side. Got a lot of room, and he's got a first down. He's into Bedford territory. Marked down at the 37-yard line, and the Broncos offense is rolling again.
I want to see what Shane Mackey's complaining about here. Oh, he got blocked in the back by a Bedford player. He was pleading his case to the officials, but the officials did not throw a flag.
There's really no blocking in the back as a defensive player. That offensive lineman was in your way. You're going to try to run through him. There's really no block in the back there. I can understand why he felt so. 1st and 10 for the Broncos. 2 receivers in a slot formation to the right. Tight left, wing left. Crawford with the hard count takes the snap, hands it off. Landmesser goes to the left-hand side, probing out behind his lead blocker, but only room for 2 yards as he's tackled at the 35. 2nd and 8. They give him the 34, so we'll call it 2nd and 7.
Bulldogs being shut out here in the first half. Now that's something that hasn't happened all year. They only have 3:14 to correct that, but the Alvirne Broncos are driving on this.
Really interested to see time of possession too, as this Broncos offense has been on the field quite a bit in this first half. Just their 3rd possession here in the first half. Crawford, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, fakes the handoff, out to the right-hand side. Very strange play there as it's an incomplete pass. Dean Poltrinari got wiped out. Looked like an offensive pass interference. Let's see the replay here. Number 1 all the way at the bottom of your screen. Tries to step up on the little out pattern. Gets pushed from behind. No flag.
Oh, that
so it's probably 7.
Probably should have been one on the Alvirne Broncos right there, but it was an incomplete pass. It wasn't a good throw. It was way high. Conroe couldn't come down with it. As a matter of fact, he tipped it up in the air, and I was looking to see if a Bulldog might have been in the area to pick it off, but there wasn't.
So a missed call there, but an incomplete pass. So it is 3rd and 7, and the Alvirne Broncos will run to the far side official and take a timeout. 2:48 to go here in the first half. 6-0 is your score. The Alvirne Broncos ahead of the Bedford Bulldogs.
And the Bedford Band is here. You can hear them playing behind us. They're located right in front of the press box, but the Alvirne Band is going to be here, and they're going to perform on the field at the half, and we'll bring that to you.
It's always somewhat of a crapshoot for the band when it comes to playoffs, as they're not necessarily counting on additional time during the season, so I'm guessing that they're missing some of their steady members of the band. But we will, as you mentioned, have the Alvirne Broncos marching band. I'm not sure if they have a color guard as well, but they will provide us some halftime entertainment here.
And the cheer crew for Alvirne is here, and the opposing fan stands are also filled. Folks made the ride up 93 from Hudson. Take the game in. Good to see you.
Of note here, Alvirne will receive the second half kickoff as well, so they're going to try to end the first half on a good note and start the second half on the same. 4 receivers set for Crawford. Takes the snap, looks to his right-hand side out in the right flat, now delivers over the middle. The slant pass is caught, and still on his feet, going out to that left-hand side, and now trotting out of bounds is Ryan Rochlow. He is marked out at the 16-yard line as the Broncos are in the red zone again.
Gabe Conroe is the guy who threw the block that sprung right there. Sealed the edge and gave 13 Rochlow extra space to get down the sideline. And now they're at the 16-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Broncos in the red zone. 2:39 to go in the first half. 4 receiver set. 2 right, 2 left for Crawford. Landmesser to his left. He's in the shotgun. Motion left to right. Taking the snap is Crawford. He hands it off. No, he doesn't. He keeps it out to the left-hand side, out around the edge, and tackled. Looks like he has another first down inside the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Broncos on that left hash.
Crawford showing some speed there. Taking off to his right-hand side. Around the edge, getting Alvirne into a goal-to-go situation here. With 2:25 to play, they already lead 6-0. They want to add to that.
1st and goal from the 4, and yes, Crawford has shown some athleticism in the backfield there. That pocket has collapsed around him. He's been able to scramble out, find receivers down the field as he keeps his eye up. 4 receivers set again here for Crawford. He's in the shotgun. Landmesser to his left. Calls out the signals. And now takes the snap. Hands it off and hit right away. Big hit by Helton, knifing through that offensive line and putting Landmesser quickly on his hind side.
That was getting hit by a truck.
They brought Helton right away, and he had an impact in 2 ways. Boom. Clean hit with his left shoulder and trying to send a message there, but again, the Broncos in threatening position. They mark it back at the 6-yard line. 2-yard loss for the Broncos, 2nd and goal from the 6.
The Broncos are doing a lot right today, and we're giving a lot of credit to their playmakers, but I think their offensive line should get some attaboys here because they are giving Crawford a lot of time. He has got all day to sit in that pocket looking for open receivers, and he's doing just that. He's picking the Bedford backfield apart.
And we might see some more of what we just saw, sending those linebackers, bringing pressure, trying to pop through and getting Crawford a little bit uncomfortable back there. Again, he's shown some nice agility, scrambling out of pressure both right and left, keeping his eyes up, delivering downfield to those open receivers.
Well, it would be a win for the Bulldogs if they could limit this to a 3-point possession for the Alvirne Broncos.
This is into the wind here too, so a 3-point attempt is no easy task. Landmesser trying to get the Broncos faithful excited here. 2nd and goal from the 6, 1:40 to go in this first half. Alvirne back to the line of scrimmage. Crawford has Landmesser to his right. He's in the shotgun. Tight right with a wing, slot left. He takes the snap. Fakes the handoff. Now he scrambles to the right-hand side. Out in the right flat. It's a touchdown. Wide open in the end zone. Quinton Tetro. And the Broncos go ahead 12-0 with the PAT to follow.
It's amazing how open these Bronco receivers are. He just sheds the one man assigned to watching him and is able to get alone long enough for Crawford to find him. And I think they're going to go for 2 here.
They move the ball to the left hash, and this is the smart play. They're ahead 12-0 at this point in time. They want to make up for that extra point miss on their first attempt. So they come back to the line of scrimmage. Trips out to the right-hand side bunched. Landmesser to the right of Crawford. Split end is to the left. Crawford takes the snap. He rolls to the right, out into the right flat. Same play, similar. They find Quinton Tetro, and he has the 2-point conversion and makes it 14-0. The Broncos ahead with 1:35 to go here in the first half.
Broncos are calling a masterful game here. Just having their way with the Bedford defense. You know, and when you can run the exact same play twice in a row to get into the end zone, that's really a message that they're dictating to you, not the other way around.
Same play out of a different formation, though. They did have trips bunched out to that right-hand side. Polchinari, the cornerback out there on that side, talking to the assistant coaches, trying to understand exactly how he should have played that. Either way, Tetro was wide open and converts the easy 2-point conversion.
So now you're the Bulldogs. You've got 1:35. You're down 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points. you've got 2 timeouts. And Alvirne's going to get the ball to start the third quarter.
Sure, they want to make use of this offensive possession. Of course, they'll be in the 2-minute drill. Going to try to get a little bit of a head of steam. They're playing some games here with their their kick returners, as they had Durso all the way back and Matthews up in that up back position, as Boudreau has been trying to kick it short to about the 25-yard line. He's going to do the same thing, chips it ahead, and Matthews comes all the way forward and takes the return. He gets out to the left-hand side, out beyond the 40, and he's dragged down at the 43-yard line. Had a head of steam, and a nice return for Matthews as he anticipated that short kick to that right number, takes it at the 24 and gets out to the 43.
Yeah, Ryan Rocheleau was the tackler right there, and a Bedford player is down. Try to get to a number there. You know, Matthews is the most dangerous returner for the Bulldogs, and if Rocheleau didn't make that tackle, he would have gotten through the initial bunch of special teamers, and he might have had a chance to get to the end zone. Matthews has that speed.
Helton, of course, back there as the kick return tandem. Helton has had a marvelous punt return this year, 33 yards, getting down to the 1-yard line. I believe that was against North.
I think that's Westcott on the field.
That is Dustin Westcott. Took a minute to stand back up. He was down on the ground at the 36-yard line. Possibly got popped or had the wind taken out of him. Matthews again ranging forward. You're seeing here on the replay. I think he took a shot in the ribs there as one of the Alvirne Broncos players kneed him. Westcott was trying to recover from his block. 90 seconds to go here in the first half. Bulldogs with their 4th possession of this first half. They'll start on their own 43, their best field position of the afternoon, to start a drive. Of course, their first possession ended in an interception by Rocheleau. They turned it over on downs, their second possession, and then quick kicked it away back to the line of scrimmage. That has to be a flag, and it is. The Bedford offense was not set as they approached the line of scrimmage. They snapped it too early, and several players were still moving, so they'll march back 5 yards on that one. They were looking for Helton on this left-hand side. Near the sideline, the pass was incomplete. But again, not all the players were set. It looks like Coach Lee may decline this. And take the down as it was incomplete. Looking for Helton. Yeah, so illegal motion. And they will take it. They'll accept it. They march it back 5 yards. So 1st and 15. Only 4 seconds off the clock, but 5 yards. The Bulldogs come back to the line of scrimmage with a 4-receiver set. 3 out to the right, 1 split end to the left. Helton to the left of May. May fakes the handoff, now looks over the middle, delivers high and way over the head of Suazo. We do have a penalty flag down, and that's possibly going to be on the defense. Perhaps a hold. They were double teaming Suazo. And that flag is sitting at the 48-yard line in Bedford territory. So the officials talk it over. Another 6 seconds run off the clock here, and we'll see what the verdict is. Defensive holding.
Not much harm there on a defensive holding call on first down. You're only giving up 5 yards, and the clock is really more the enemy here than yardage.
So they march him ahead, 10 yards. Not an automatic first down, but it is 1st and 5 for the Bulldogs. They're back out to the 48-yard line. 4-receiver set for May. 2 right, 2 left. He takes the snap, looks over the middle, now delivers out to the right-hand side. Casamassino has it complete, gets out to the right sideline, and a first down inside Broncos territory. They mark him at the 41-yard line.
That's the first call the Bulldogs have had that's worked out without being erased by a penalty call. Casamassino crossing
He's out there in that right wing position. Wing back.
And getting out of bounds, too, stopping the clock.
Little flat route. Nice pitch and catch for May and Casamassino. And they move the chains. 1:14 to go in the first half. Bedford trying to get on the scoreboard before this halftime. May, 4 receivers set. Casamicino goes in motion. They fake it to him. He looks out to the left-hand side. Swing pass out to Helton. He gets it, runs out of bounds near the 31-yard line. And they move the sticks again. Got 10 yards, and they get the clock to stop. They clear them out. These two receivers clear out the defensive backs. Helton gets wide enough on that swing route. Nice throw by May, too, to lead him.
And
in stride.
Heads out of bounds to stop the clock.
1:08 to go in the second quarter. 4 receivers set again. Slot right, slot left. May has Helton to his right. Takes the snap. Looks over the middle. Happy feet, delivers low. It's complete. And taking a pop in the back was Bennett Matthews.
And part of the reason for that is that he had to reach behind him to make that catch.
He did, and that linebacker was just sitting there, steps up, and appropriately anticipates that crossing route. May takes a snap again, looks to the left-hand side. Swing pass again for Helton. He's met there, but dances out of bounds at the 21-ish, 22-yard line. Can't quite see where the spot is.
Yeah, Quentin Tetro is arguing that he landed inbounds, so there should be a clock-running situation, but they did stop the clock, saying that he went out of bounds. Yeah, Tetro was arguing that his knee landed in bounds, that he was tackled in bounds, and that Bedford should use a timeout rather than be given a timeout.
You know, it's a veteran play, rallying officials, trying to make that clock run, but unfortunately for him, near side official ruled Helton out of bounds. So 3rd and 1, 39 seconds to go in the first half. 4 down territory for the Bulldogs. Still too far for a kick attempt. They go empty backfield, and the Broncos will take a timeout here as they were surveying the scene on this 3rd and 1 and want to make sure their defense is aligned appropriately. So a timeout by Coach Lee. 14-0 is your score. The Broncos lead here late in the first half, and the Broncos knocking on the door of the red zone.
And we can see the Bronco marching band on the far side of the field. They are preparing for their halftime show here. They'll be entertaining both the Alvirne and Bedford fans at the half. We'll have that for you here on BCTV, also on Bedford 105.1 radio.
The Bulldogs have 2 timeouts to use, 39 seconds, 21 yards to go. Again, I don't think they're looking to settle for 3 here. The wind is at their back, so Petrie would have enough to get it there. Although, oddly, as you noted during warm-ups, they had Elijah Todd taking most of those PAT attempts, so not quite sure if Petrie is healthy or not. Right now, it's irrelevant. It's 3rd and 1. Bulldogs offense back to the line of scrimmage. Empty set for May. 3 receivers to his left, slot right. Helton is out to that right side in the slot. May takes the snap, looks down to the left-hand side, delivers to the left side. He's got it complete inside the 10-yard line. Suazo with the catch, and he's out of bounds at the 9.
I'm sure Suazo had it in his head that he had to get the clock to stop, but I think if he had thought about it for a second, he might have had a lane to the end zone.
Possibly. That defender was right there, and you do have timeouts in your pocket, so possibly could have been the opportunity to make a move and sneak by, but the smart play was to go out of bounds. That's what he did, and it's 1st and goal from the 9 for the Bulldogs. Again, 2 timeouts to use, 33 seconds remain as the Bulldogs threaten here late in the second half. May takes the snap, looks out to the right-hand side, scrambles to the right now, delivers to the flat. He's got Helton, who cuts it back inside near the end zone.
Should be a
no
touchdown.
Signal yet.
Yes,
now it is. Touchdown, Helton. The Bulldogs into the end zone. 22 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Now watch this replay. Helton takes the pass and then cuts it against the grain and lands over the goal line before his knee came down, so that's a correct call. Touchdown, Bedford.
9-yard touchdown catch by Helton, and on to try the extra point. As you mentioned in warm-ups, Elijah Todd ready to go. They're lined up. The snap is back. The hold is down. Kick is up. It looks good. It is good. And the Bulldogs put 7 points on the board here late in the first half. 14-7 is your score. The Broncos lead with just 22 seconds remaining in this first half.
And the Bulldogs needed to show that they're alive and they can put the ball in the end zone. Masterful drive there. Quick 2-minute offense. Well called, well played, and they get into the end zone and cut this lead by 7. And now the Broncos will be, I'm not sure if they'll do anything with 22 seconds. They might want to try, depending on how this kickoff goes. But they will be getting the ball to start the third quarter, and then the Bedford defense is going to have to step up.
They do have big playability. We've seen it throughout this first half. They may be content, though. They've had quite the ball control offense. Done a nice job with that. Again, we don't have official stats there, but it's got to be a 2-to-1 advantage in time of possession.
And there goes the ball again.
For the Broncos.
Wind is having its effect here. You can hear it on our microphones.
Interestingly, Zach Petrie will be doing the kickoff, so it seems like his leg is healthy.
Healthy enough for a kickoff.
But Todd took the extra point.
And the ball tips over again.
We may have to have a holder come up, put his finger on top of the ball.
The one thing Bedford has going for it is that its coaching staff has been very good with halftime adjustments. They seem to be able to look at what's happening. And, they have the benefit of that huddle camera. They get live plays. They get to look at how plays develop on the tablets right after they happen. So I'm sure they're working on something to counteract this Alvirne defense. It's a squib kick.
Squib kick down the middle, taken at the 23-yard line by the Broncos, getting out to that left-hand side. Trying to get some room on the sideline, but gang tackled out beyond the 40-yard line. Squeaking through and getting a few more yards, and it's close to that 45. 13 seconds to go as they call the stop of the clock.
So they're going to mark him at the Alvirne 46, 45-yard line.
They give him the 46.
So, is it worth a throw downfield? 13 seconds get you within at least field goal range.
Bulldogs with a masterful 2-minute drill there, using the sidelines, using their timeouts wisely, and able to score. They started that drive with just 1:35 on the clock. And were able to punch it in for their first points of the afternoon. Nickel personnel in for the Bulldogs. Crawford sends the receiver in motion left to right. Now delivers down the left-hand side. Out of bounds and incomplete. A lot of time off the clock, though. 8.5 still remaining on the scoreboard.
Uncatchable ball right there.
You take a couple shots downfield. I don't mind the call here by Coach Lee. I mean, you're at the 46-yard line, so again, solid athletes on their offensive side of the ball, and yeah, have a go at it. 2nd and 10 for the Broncos. They lead 14-7 with 8.5 seconds to go here in the first half. The Bulldogs defense lining up in somewhat of a prevent defense as their safeties are at about the 35, 34-yard line. 4 receivers set for Crawford. 3 out to the right, 1 to the left. Landmesser to his right. He takes a snap, rolls to his right-hand side, looks short, now looks long, now looks back short. It's complete, and trotting out of bounds is Ryan Rocheleau on the completion. 2 seconds remaining on the board. He makes the catch and goes out at the Bedford Bulldogs 48-yard line.
I don't know what kind of arm Crawford has, but all they've got to do here is a Hail Mary. They can't kick it from here, and there's no time for second play, barring a flag, of course.
Coach Lee takes a timeout. 1.9 seconds to go. The Broncos lead 14-7. They'll reset, see if they can set up, as we mentioned, these BC-looking uniforms. They want to repeat what they saw from Doug Flutie way back when in the 80s. Do you remember who caught that ball?
The name's on the tip of my tongue. Hang on.
Good trivia here.
Oh, God, I knew this. I can't remember the name.
Phenomenal moment in New England sports history as Doug Flutie heaved a Hail Mary. On the receiving end was Gerard Phelan.
That's the name. Thank you.
Bringing the BC Eagles victory.
And that play probably made Flutie's career.
I would
put
guess
him on
so.
the map for the NFL.
Prime time play like that in prime time. A lot of eyes on you. NFL scouts left and right. Had a decent NFL career. I wouldn't say it great. A little bit of a journeyman. But he will forever be in Boston sports fans' minds on that play alone. Crawford trips out to the right-hand side, one split end to the left. Tries to get the defense to jump. They will not do it as he goes for the hard count. Now he snaps it, rolls to his right-hand side. Looking downfield, heaves it to the right-hand side. Down near the goal line, batted down by Bennett Matthews. It's incomplete, and we'll end the first half with the Broncos leading 14-7 over the Bulldogs. We'll take a timeout here and bring you entertainment from the Alvirne Broncos marching band. And then, of course, second half action here from Bedford High School on BCTV and WBNH 105.1.
And welcome back to Bedford High School as we prepare for second half action. Teams are on the field stretching. We're working on getting some scores from around Division I, let you know how some of the other playoff brackets are shaping out. Of course, Pinkerton with a victory yesterday over Windham, 14-6. And the winner of this game will go on to play the Astros.
We have an update out of Exeter. They lead Manchester Memorial at halftime 17-0. I believe Londonderry was up on Nashua South at halftime too, 21-13. We're going to try to confirm those scores and then update you throughout this second half. In the other two games going on this afternoon, that's the 2-7 matchup, Exeter against Manchester Memorial, and the 3-6 matchup, Londonderry versus Nashua South.
I believe Exeter is the only other undefeated regular season team in Division I.
I believe that's correct. They came in with the number 2 seed in the other side of the bracket. The only upset in that first round was Windham over Salem, and again, I think that raised a lot of eyebrows. They won 8-7 in that first round game. To me, that was pretty surprising. Salem has one of the best running backs in the state in Tedesco Jr., an electric running back down there for the Blue Devils, but they were not able to score more than 7 points on Windham's stout defense. And interestingly enough, Pinkerton only scored 14 in their win, so 14-6 last night.
And one of those touchdowns was a special teams touchdown. So that defense really only gave up one touchdown. So they played a championship level defense, but unfortunately the offense was not able to make any hay. They only I was telling you during the half, the only touchdown that Windham was able to score was basically on a kind of a short 30-yard Hail Mary that went off the hands of a Astros defender. Instead of trying to knock it down, they tried to catch it off the hands right to the Windham players. So it was kind of a fluke play. The only 6 points they scored was on a kind of a fluky bounce.
No flukes here in the first half.
No.
Couple of turnovers by the Bulldogs, one on their first possession of the game. Jack May intercepted by Ryan Rochlow. The Broncos responded, taking it 67 yards on that first drive, ending in a 4-yard touchdown run by Michael Landmesser. The extra point was no good, so it stayed 6-0. The Bulldogs turned it over on downs. The Broncos on that ensuing possession had 4 or 5 penalties and went backwards, leading to a punt. Bulldogs couldn't make much out of that. They started the drive on their own 21 and had to quick kick out of their own half. The Broncos finally getting back on the board. They started the drive at their own 26, marched down the field, ending with a 6-yard touchdown catch by Tetro. He was wide open in the end zone for the touchdown, and then as well on the 2-point conversion. So the Broncos went up 14-0 with 1:35 to go in the first half. The Bulldogs put together a marvelous 2-minute drill of their own to get on the board before halftime, driving from their own 43-yard line after a nice kick return by Bennett Matthews, ending in a 9-yard touchdown catch by Brody Helton. The extra point was good by Elijah Todd, and that ended the first half at 14-7, but not before the Broncos tried to put some pressure on. They had decent field position, threw a couple long passes, but no doing. And the half ended 14-7 is where we are right now. The Bulldogs will kick it off from right to left for the Broncos to get on the offensive side of the ball. Of course, they won the opening toss and deferred, so they will get possession here to start our third quarter.
And now we'll see what the coaching staff for Bedford came up with. They've been pretty good with adjustments in other games. I can think of the Astros game in the regular season and the game against the Panthers, Nashville South. Both times they found themselves behind, and they were able to adjust and come up with some new wrinkles and take those games back. Let's see what they can do here. They're trailing 14-7.
Looks like Nasser is ready to kick things off for the Bulldogs from the 40-yard line. Makes his approach, swings his leg through, and kicks it deep, taken at the 13 off the hands of the returner, but then scooped up after a bounce or two. He gets out to the left-hand side, trying to make it out to the left sideline, but stopped at about the 35-yard line, where the Broncos offense will resume their approach.
And that was Michael Landmesser, number 29, on the return. Fumbled it, picked it up, got some good yardage back all the way up to the 35-yard line. That's where the Broncos will start.
A little bit of a muff there on the receipt of that kick, but didn't seem to really cause too much of a negative result. Crawford back to the line of scrimmage. Landmesser to his left, trips out to the left-hand side. Tight end is right. Man in motion left to right is Rocheleau. He'll hover on the right-hand side. They hand it off to Landmesser. He goes out to the right-hand side. Beyond the right tackle, he's got some room.
Fumble!
Ball is on the ground and covered by the Broncos. Fortunate there, as jumping on it quickly was Shane McKee.
A great punch out right there, trying to see who did that.
Yeah, that was Helton coming back from that backside. Smacked down at the ball, got it on the ground, but the Broncos fortunately right there to keep possession. 2nd and 1 for the Broncos on their own 44-yard line. That could have been a huge swing play right here at the start of the second half, but offensive lineman Shane Mackey, or McKee, not quite sure the pronunciation there, but
Mackey
jumps right on it. Landmesser again, stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
I don't think they're going to give him the spot.
No, they are not. They maybe gave him a half a yard, and in there quickly, that defensive line preventing much of a gain at all.
I think that was Helton again, hit. Yep, Helton fighting off his block and catching Landmesser high.
3rd and 1 on this first offensive possession of the third quarter. Just 90 seconds here into the second half. And the Broncos facing an important first down opportunity. 3 receivers out to the left-hand side, 1 split to the right. Landmesser to the right of Crawford. He takes the snap, keeps it himself, goes to the right-hand side. He's got room and a first down, out to midfield, and forced out of bounds by Suazo. It's a first down for the Broncos.
You know, Alex Bissonnette was in the backfield and was just out of his reach to catch Crawford back there. As you can see, he got away from his reach and wound up getting the first down.
Quick feet by Crawford as he's able to dance around that right tackle, and they move the chains. 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line.
Now, I was going to note here that the Bulldogs are rushing 4. They were rushing 3 most of the first half, trying to put an extra defender in the defensive backfield.
I think it's really depending on down and distance. 1st and 10 here. 5 receivers set for Crawford. He's empty. 3 receivers out to the left, 2 to the right. He takes the handoff to the motion man and comes back to the right-hand side. He's ahead for 6 yards as they mark him at the Bedford 45. 2nd and 4 upcoming.
And that was a great cut by Crawford, because Tamulevich was actually in the lane that Crawford was going to take, and he was able to quickly adjust inside and pick up 6 yards.
Fleet-footed Crawford, been doing it all on quarterback keepers, designed runs, scrambling out of pressure and delivering down the field. He's going empty here again. 3 receivers out to the left, slot right. He's in the shotgun. takes the snap, looks to the left, now looks back to the right, delivers it down the right-hand sideline and overthrows his intended receiver, Garrett Hall. Had him in stride and just over the fingertips by a yard or two.
You know, the officials are letting a lot of stuff go at the line of scrimmage. You can see number 72 holding Kraus right there. 72 is Andrew Dealey. Had his arm wrapped around the neck of Kraus, impeding his lane to Crawford.
No
Luckily,
call, no flag, no dirty laundry. It's 3rd and 4 after the incompletion. 9:25 to go in the third quarter. 14-7. The Broncos lead the Bulldogs here in this state quarterfinal. Crawford, 3rd and 4. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Takes the snap, looks to the right-hand side, dances. Now tries to get out of pressure, and he is going to be incomplete, feeling pressure from Jake Sheff. And that brings up 4th down.
that was the first time today that we can think of that Crawford has seen any kind of pressure on the pass rush. Sheff didn't get a sack, but was able to effect the throw enough to force a 4th down here. So a big defensive stand here for the Bulldogs. They get the ball back and a chance to tie the game up.
Well, it looks like the Broncos are going to go for it here. They are not shy about keeping their offense on the field. 4th and 4. Watch the hard count here. 3 receivers out to the left, 1 split end to the right. They take the snap, look quickly
Bedford
out to the left, they pull it
blitzing.
down. Spin it out to that flat. Out to the left flat, and the tackle is missed, and it's ahead for a 1st down. Rocheleau makes a huge play, breaking a tackle. They had him wrapped. He escaped. And the Broncos get a 1st down.
Matthews had that red. He goes high, and Rocheleau was able to shrug him off, and they get the 1st down. Wow. They sent the blitzer. They had some pressure on Crawford. Crawford's passed it to the outlet, and they get the 1st.
Rocheleau, size and strength there, was able to shed Matthews and squeaked out of the grasp. Down at the Bedford 37-38 yard line, pardon me, for 1st and 10 for the Broncos. 4 receivers set. Crawford in the gun, takes the snap, hands it off, right side. Landmesser runs off tackle and tries to get out beyond the box. He's tackled at the 34-yard line. After a 4-yard gain, it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Broncos. Yeah, tough one there for Matthews, as he had Rocheleau lined up, and Rocheleau just big and strong and shrugs him off.
And unfortunately, it was a one-on-one play. Matthews had no one around him to help. He's slowing him down just long enough. If there was another defender nearby, they could have come in and closed the deal, but he was on an island and he couldn't get him down.
No dice, 1st down, and now it's 2nd and 6 for the Broncos on the Bedford 34.
A jump right
Looks like
there.
a jump. We'll see who they call it on. It looked like the defender jumped first, and they point at each other. We'll see how they judge this flag.
Like a Spider-Man meme. You.
False start on the Broncos, so they'll march him back 5 yards. 2nd and 9. Excuse me, 2nd and 11. They mark it back at the 39-yard line.
2nd down and 11.
They need to get to the Bulldogs 28. 8 minutes and counting for Crawford and this Broncos offense. He's in the shotgun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks over the middle, now feels pressure backside, and getting home is Jake Sheff for the sack. All the way back out to the 47-yard line. And Sheff with 2 huge plays here in this drive. They mark him at the 46.
Yes, Sheff.
Great play by Jake Sheff, the senior defensive lineman. Gets home and puts some pressure on this Broncos offense. It's 3rd and 17.
And credit to the backfield, too. Crawford was looking, couldn't find anybody open.
Sheff showing some great speed there, too, chasing him down. Nickel personnel for the Bulldogs. Crawford takes the snap, delivers incomplete as he was looking for that slant again. Ryan Rocheleau out in the pattern. It's incomplete in 4th and 17. Brings up a punting situation.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go for it here.
The Broncos will try to pin the Bulldogs back deep in their own territory. Sean Boudreau will punt. Helton will be back to return. They get to the line of scrimmage quickly here. 7 minutes, 17 seconds to go in the third quarter. Snap is back. We get a whistle. And the Bulldogs take a timeout.
Okay, that's interesting.
Not sure if they have enough people out there. I don't think they had enough. Yeah, only 10 players out there for the Bulldogs. So
unusually sloppy there for the Bulldogs. While we got some time here, let's talk about winter sports season getting underway on Monday, December 16th, as we're going to start out with some boys basketball against Nashua North at Bedford High Gym. That's a 7 p.m. tip-off. And we'll bring that to you here on BCTV in Bedford 105.1. Following up later that week, we've got a boy-girl doubleheader, basketball against Bishop Girton Friday the 20th. Boys play at 6:30, girls at 8, also on BCTV and Bedford 105.1. Are you doing boys games this year?
I believe so. I mean, I should probably check with the Grand Poobah. I'm not sure if I've been invited back, but.
Oh, trust me, our award-winning play-by-play announcer, of course you're back.
Oh, jeez.
I think Lauren was doing the girls. We'll find out if he's going to be with us again this year.
Yeah, we've
got
had
such
that
a busy schedule.
We've had that kind of tag team approach, as he's done girls soccer. I've done a few boys soccer games, and he's done girls basketball. I've done boys basketball. Kicking it away, trying to get a bounce, and he gets a big bounce, and it goes all the way into the end zone. That was Shane Boudreau on the punt. Got a nice bounce as it carried all the way into the end zone, and the Bulldogs will have it on their own 20.
Boudreau must have seen a few Aussie footy games, little Australian football.
Yeah, you know, it works for him, and he got that great bounce.
That Australian style punt there, little run up, little side kick, and you get that forward roll.
The forward roll takes it all the way into the end zone. So the Bulldogs will have their first possession of the second half, 7:07 to go in the third quarter. They start with it on their own 20-yard line. 4 receivers set here, 3 out to the right, 1 split end to the left is Suazo. May has Helton behind him, takes the snap, hands it off. Helton goes to the right side of the defense, tries to explore that A gap, and doesn't get much room.
Yeah, the Alvirne Bronco defense just has been keying on Helton all day today. I don't think he's broke 50 yards yet. Maybe hasn't broke 30 yards.
Big Patrick Dealey, number 76. Number 55, Liam Bowie, clogging up that middle of the line. The Bulldogs have 3 receivers out to the left, 1 split to the right. Flag goes down, possibly a delay of game. Seems like they took their time in between plays there, but no, they're clapping, so.
They're going to say it's on the Broncos here, at least the Bulldogs think so. Offside.
Offside on the Broncos, so the Bulldogs will march ahead 5 yards. So a 2nd and 8 turns into a 2nd and 3. It's marked on the 27-yard line. Of course, they need to make it out to the 30. 6.5 to go here in the third quarter. Bulldogs trail the Broncos 14-7. May back to the line of scrimmage. Motion man is Casamassino. He goes from left side to the right side. May delivers to the left-hand side. Suazo has it. It's caught complete. First down yardage, and he escapes a tackle or 2. Gets out close to midfield. He's pushed out of bounds at the 48-yard line. First down, Bulldogs.
Suazo with the bubble screen, curling inside, back toward the quarterback. Picks up 2 blockers right there, then cuts back outside for first down yardage.
Connor Flaherty getting out from his left tackle position, getting a block downfield. You see Suazo take a few steps down the field and then stick that left foot in the ground, coming back hard to May, making a nice catch and getting ahead for positive yardage. 3 receivers out to the right. Toss sweep to that right side for Helton. He's got some room. He's got more room. He's got first down yardage. Down the right-hand sideline. He's at the 20, dodges a defender, 15-10. There's a flag thrown. He's into the end zone, but there's a flag out by the 14-yard line. It is a touchdown on the play, but there's a flag. I think they're going to call Casamassino for a
block in the back.
Block in the back. That's a tough call, but a huge play for Helton. So if they call it at the 14, it comes out to the 24. It's still first down for the Bulldogs on a huge gainer for Helton. It's the first time he's seen much daylight today.
Yeah, I think Helton heard us talking about him.
I'm sure he did. You can see him there.
Set these guys straight.
Getting down that right sideline, far side, cuts it back. Casamassino gets a little bit of a block there, and they call the flag. Helton cuts it back and jaunts into the end zone, but the penalty brings it back out. It should mark it at the 24, where it should be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. See what they do. That's what they do. It is put down at the 24. They wave the chains forward, and that's the signal from the official holding offense. But again, it's way down the field, and it's a spot foul. So good enough for a first down, but they take points off the board.
Yeah, that's
the third time.
Third time that
today.
a penalty has taken a touchdown off the board.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs on the 24, heading in Broncos territory. Jack May trots back to the huddle. 5:57 to go in the third quarter. They trail 14-7 to the Alvirne Broncos. A back on either side of May in the backfield. Slot left, split out to the right is Suazo. Taking the snap and handing it to Westcott. Going off the left-hand side, taking a pop after a 2-yard gain. Rocheleau coming in and delivering a hit on Westcott.
Yeah, good solo tackle there by Rocheleau. 2nd
and 8 for the Bulldogs offense. Again, knocking on the door of the red zone on the 22-yard line. 5:30 and counting in the third quarter. Rather quick pace, just the second possession of this third quarter. 5 minutes ticking off during the Alvirne opening drive. They had to punt it away and got a touchback. May spins around, hands it to Helton. He goes to the left-hand side. He's got first down yardage. Trots out of bounds at the 10-yard line, and it's another first down for the Bulldogs. I think it might be just outside of the 10-yard line, but they're going to say it's on the 10, so it's 1st and goal from the 10 for the Bulldogs.
Jeremiah Yee technically pushed him out of bounds, although Yee got the worst of that meetup.
And we've seen Helton mature in his running as he's not trying to take on every single defender. He's going out of bounds here and there to try to protect himself. Maturing as a runner. 4 receivers set for May. Helton behind him in the pistol formation. He takes the snap, hands it off to, no he does not. He keeps it, runs out to the left-hand side. A lot of daylight, he's into the end zone. Touchdown. Bedford, Jack May, 10-yard touchdown run, and it is 14-13 with the extra point to come.
Watch how all by himself May was. He fooled everybody on the Bronco defense. They all followed Helton into the scrum, and May had nothing but daylight to the end zone.
Nice job with his ball handling there, Jack May. Able to complete the fake, pulls it down, jaunts ahead for the touchdown. Now the PAT. Snap is back. Hold is down. The kick is up. It looks good. It is good. It only looked good as a low-line drive. It didn't look great, I'll tell you that. But it doesn't matter. It still went through the uprights. And we have a brand new ball game. 14-14 with 4:41 to go in the third quarter.
Now we're coming up on a huge possession for the Broncos. They had a 14-0 lead against the 2-time defending champs, but those champs have responded with 2 straight scores, although it's taken them a while to do it. You know, what are you feeling on that far sideline? Is the collar getting a little bit tight? Are you starting to question your game plan?
I don't think so. I think they're going to stick to it. They're going to keep with their ball control offense. They've, as we've said, had a nice balance between run and pass. And they've done well against this Bedford defense. The last couple, both Bulldogs defenses flexed, and they've held. So 14-14, you can't guess too many game plans. It's a tie game with 4:41 to go here in the third quarter.
Well, that is true. But the Bulldogs did stop them on their first possession.
Eli Todd set to kick things off, right to left. He takes his approach, swings his foot through, kind of muffs it out to the left-hand side. It's taken near the 23 and muffed out of bounds at the 24-yard line. That was Logan Charland as he was trying to gather that in. It does go out of bounds, but only after it was touched by the return team, so no flag.
That ball was like a spitting top coming off the leg of the kicker and skittered along the field and made it kind of tricky to pick up.
Yeah, strange one there. They mark it at the 25-yard line. And the Broncos offense back on the field.
Bulldogs have some momentum here on defense. Let's see what they do here.
Four
Huge
receivers
possession.
set for Crawford. 3 out to the left, 1 to the right. Landmesser to the right of Crawford in the backfield, who's in the shotgun. Surveys the seam, takes the snap, looks out to the left. Little bubble swing pass out to Rocheleau. He catches it and moves ahead for a 5-yard gain. He's tackled at the 30-yard line.
Dean
Second and 5.
Dean Poltrinari with the tackle for Bedford.
See Poltrinari all the way at the top of your screen there. Sheds the blocker, comes ahead and goes low on Rocheleau. Able to make a good open field tackle on the big receiver. But not before a 5-yard gain. 3 receivers out to the right for Crawford, 1 to the left. Landmesser to his right. He takes a snap, rolls right, looks downfield, rolls even farther right out to the sideline, delivers it short, it's caught, and then a pop at the end there. It's incomplete as the receiver was out of bounds. Rocheleau caught it and then took a pop at the end. The official was right there and ruled him out of bounds right away.
He's right there.
And then there's the late hit. No call as Helton came in, tried to make the receiver
He's calling it incomplete.
He is calling it incomplete. It's 3rd and 5. I think the receiver was out of bounds, did not get a foot in bounds. And, of course, I didn't hear a whistle, so the Bulldogs defense has to play through the whistle.
So
Delivered a shot there at the end to Rocheleau. And all in all, it's just an incomplete pass in 3rd and 5. Crawford, 3 receivers to his right, including tight end Rocheleau. 1 split end to the left. Landmesser to his left in the shotgun. He takes the snap, looks out to the right. Little screen to the right-hand side. It's complete and ahead for a first down.
Just
that's
enough.
Gabe Conroe. He's out beyond the 30, and that's enough for the first. Tackle on the play by Jake Sheff. Broncos move the sticks. 3:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. Tie game, 14-14.
And, you know, credit Quentin Tetro, the block that held Dean Poltrinari up just long enough to give the receiver a chance to get to the first down marker.
Broncos again with this ball control offense. They're happy to take 3, 4, 5, and 6 yards at a time, as long as they continue to move the sticks. Rocheleau goes in motion across the formation right to left. High snap, pulled down, handed off to Landmesser. He goes up the middle, right side A gap, smushed into the line of scrimmage and gang tackled after a gain of 2. He's out to the 38-yard line, 2nd and 8.
Clock running, we're under 3 minutes now. All tied up at 14 apiece here in the 3rd quarter.
This is where the Bulldogs want to make some kind of play. Negative yardage play, perhaps another strip, get that ball on the ground. Perhaps get another sack out of number 57, Captain Jake Sheff. Huge play on that last drive. 2 of them. Tackle for loss and a sack. Bulldogs looking for the same. 4 receivers set for Crawford. He takes the snap. We have a flag. They blow it dead.
I think it was 55 who moved early, Liam Bowie.
They call a false start on the Broncos, and they'll march them backwards. 2nd and 8 turns into 2nd and 13.
Do you know who Bowie had a block? Mr. Sheff.
That same Mr. Jake Sheff that we were just speaking about has had an impact this afternoon. Sheff and Ben on the left side of this defensive line. Of course, Connor Flaherty and Alex Bissonette on that right side of the defensive line. Brennan Krause in there as well on this possession. Tackling right away is that same 58, Brennan Krause, knifing through the offensive line and a quick tackle for loss. And that turns into a big loss.
That was actually Tamulevich, number 53.
53, okay, this looked like 58 from my vantage point, but either way, phenomenal play there. Another loss for the Broncos, and now it'll be 3rd and 16.
Defense stepping up here. The penalty, and now a tackle for loss.
And it's a big one here. Again, 3rd and 16, it's 3rd and long. But the Broncos have the ability to get these chunk plays. Crawford, 3 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. He takes a snap, delivers to the right-hand side, out and up, overthrows his receiver, Ryan Rocheleau, out in the pattern. It's incomplete, and 4th and 16.
Noah Casamassino coming in on the blitz. He rushed, the throw was rushed by Crawford. He had to get rid of it. He had Casamassino in his face and overthrew his receiver. Now, if he had landed the throw, it would have been a fantastic play, but he just overthrew it.
Took a shot at the end, did Crawford, and throws it over the head of Rocheleau. Incomplete, 4th and 16, so on to punt. Again, Shane Boudreau shanks it a little bit. They'll stay away from it. It bounces at the Bedford 48. They run away from it and able to dance around it, fortunately, was Frederick Malnar. Again, if any of the receiving team touches it,
they're arguing that
it is a live ball.
Player.
And there's some hesitation here, but I don't know if there's a cause for the hesitation.
I did not see any contact with the black jersey player, so.
Certainly Malnar was in the area and very close to touching it. And to the Alvirne player's credit, he tried to block Malnar into the
right there
dangling ball.
Yeah.
And
good play there.
We'll see the replay there, but
that's pretty heady. And then you try to sell it to the officials.
Yeah, why not? So the punt for the Broncos with a little bit of fanfare, and now starting at their own 36-yard line is the Bedford offense again. They start with a 2-tight, 2-wing set. Helton stacked behind May in the pistol formation. Motion left to right is Destin Westcott. He takes the handoff, goes out beyond the right tackle, ahead to the 40-yard line. 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6.
Well, Bulldogs defense did their job stopping Alvirne on their possession. Now the Bulldogs offense tied it up on their last possession, has a chance to take the lead, and another player down here for the Broncos, number 11, Tetro, on the field holding his leg.
We have the officials timeout for the injury, so both teams will go to the sideline. 1 minute exactly on the scoreboard for this 3rd quarter. And again, tied at 14.
Becoming a high school sports official is an easy call. Officiating allows you to continue to be a role model by demonstrating qualities such as impartiality, fairness, and courage. High school sports officials help protect the integrity of the games we love by teaching and enforcing the rules of play. New officials have an opportunity to make a difference in their communities right away. Learn more about becoming a high school official by visiting NHIAA.org. And Tetro is hobbling off the field, not able to put weight on his left leg, lower leg, looks like the problem. Maybe he twisted an ankle or something.
Starting to walk a little better as he gets towards the numbers on that far side. Let's keep an eye out to see if we see Tetro return. Of course, Landmesser went out on the first defensive possession for the Broncos in this game, and yet came back quickly and has had a huge impact on this game, scoring the first touchdown for the Broncos. May takes the snap, looks to the left-hand side. Suazo on the little bubble screen again. It's complete. He's got first down yardage, fights through a few defenders, still on his feet into Broncos territory and still moving forward. He's got a lot of people behind him pushing forward, and it's stripped away from him. It's stripped away. Michael Landmesser yanks it away from Suazo late in that possession. The official was right there and signaled right away. And they'll call it a fumble and a turnover there.
You know, you love seeing those scrum plays working their way down the field, but you know, a lot of nasty stuff going on inside that scrum. And Suazo had the ball torn away from him by Landmesser, and it's a huge turnover here for the Broncos, who take the ball back from Bedford with 35 seconds left here in the fourth quarter, all tied at 14.
They start the possession on their own 35, looking for some momentum here. 3 receivers out left, 1 to the right. Crawford in the gun. Takes the snap, hands it off. No, he doesn't. He keeps it himself, and he'll be trapped behind the line of scrimmage. 2 defensive linemen there, and they wrap him up quickly. Jake Sheff leading the charge.
And James Tamulevich there too.
Tamulevich helping out. And Ben in there as well from his defensive tackle position. So they catch him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll do it for this third quarter. The clock will run out, and we are still knotted at 14. The Broncos and the Bulldogs battling here in the state quarterfinals, trying to advance to face the Pinkerton Astros next weekend.
BCTV's live channels and on-demand content are easier to access than ever before thanks to the Bedford Community Television app. It's available for download on Apple iOS and Android Play stores. Download the Bedford Community Television app from your Play Store today and enjoy our content live and on demand anywhere you go.
Harry, what are you thinking here? 2nd and 12. The Bulldogs defense needs to flex a bit here. They need to hold tight, force either a punt or a turnover after this tough play against Suazo in that scrum, just trying to get extra yardage. Got some help from his offensive lineman, and Landmesser just made a phenomenal play stripping the ball away from him.
You know, when you have a turnover like that, a mistake like that, you've got to erase it by getting the ball back. And this has been a good half of football for the defense. They really stepped up their game. They're starting to put pressure on Crawford. He hasn't had as much time to throw. They've been getting in the backfield. So, you know, another big ask here for the Bedford defense. Get the ball back one way or the other, take it away or force a punt. And get Bedford back on track here.
Of course, that negative yardage play on first down certainly helps this Bulldogs defense. 2nd and 12 for the Broncos as they start this fourth quarter. 12 minutes back on the board. And that 12 minutes will decide who moves on in this Division I state playoff quarterfinal. Crawford, 4 receiver set, 3 left, 1 right. Landmesser to his right. Takes the snap, hands it off. Landmesser up the middle. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but no farther. 2-yard gain will lead 3rd and 10.
Gang tackle there by the Bulldogs, led by number 50. I thought it was 52, but there is no 52 on the roster.
I think it was 62, Matt Ben.
62, thank you.
He jogged off the field as the Bulldogs go nickel with the extra defensive back. 3 down linemen trying to get pressure on Crawford, and he goes empty backfield. 3 out to his left, slot out to the right. Crawford in the shotgun. Calls out the signals, takes the snap, looks down the middle, delivers down the middle, long ball deep and overthrows the intended receiver, Ryan Rochlow. And it's 4th and 10. And the Bulldogs, despite giving that fumble up on that scrum play, hold tight, and it's a 3 and out for the Alvirne Broncos.
Credit to Alex Bissonette there. He was able to fight off, you know, I mean, kind of a hold. He was able to get to Crawford, and he made contact with him just as he threw the ball. Probably threw him off just enough to make that overthrow. So Bissonette really wreaking some havoc there on that offensive play.
Tough play here, though. So Sean Boudreau is on to our right. The sun is setting to our right, so this is going to be a tough ball to field. A low liner. And again, getting that good roll forward is Boudreau. It goes down inside the 20, down to the 15, inside the 15, and waving it forward, these Broncos covermen. It goes all the way to the 11-yard line. So great punt there for Boudreau.
Yeah, sun is really low. And if you notice, Helton wasn't even in the back. He was off to the side. Didn't even try to make a play for it. So they gave up some field position here, but better that than to risk a turnover thanks to that low sun. You know, the end zone to the right faces right into the sun. And those trees, you can just see the shadows being cast by those trees almost completely across the field. So for the next 10 or 15 minutes, it's going to be tough to see down that field.
Well, particularly for quarterback Jack May, the receivers are actually looking back from the angle of the sun, so it'll be tougher to get him the ball. Little reverse pivot here for Helton. He goes out to the right side of the offensive line and is tripped up quickly. That's Landmesser.
Yeah.
Coming in from his left cornerback position and submarining Helton. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that was a really good one-on-one tackle by Landmesser. Just went for the legs and took him out.
Bulldogs will need to drive 89 yards here as they started on their own 11.
No, field goal wouldn't be bad either.
Sure would help as they look to break this tie. Trips stacked to the right side of this offensive line. Little confusion on the formation. They figure it out, and now we get a timeout. No, we get a delay of game. Flag goes down, and the Bulldogs offense will get marched back. It'll be 2nd and 15 as they'll have it on their own 6. Tough one there as they miscommunicated in the huddle. Didn't have the right formation, and that confusion led to a delay of getting the ball snapped on time. So 10 minutes, 6 seconds to go in the game. 14-14 is your score. Bulldogs with the ball on their own 6-yard line, so it's not 89 yards anymore. It's 94 to pay dirt. May has a back on either side. Slot right, one split end out to the left. In motion out to the right-hand side. They run a screen for Helton up the middle. He's got a catch. He's out for more yardage. He gets into the 20-yard line and out beyond the 20-yard line. And he's close to that first down.
No, fabulous play call there, and really gutty effort there by Helton to stay on his feet. Worked his way through several tackles, able to fight. Couldn't quite get to the marker at the 22, but it's a more manageable 3rd down here, 3rd and 2.
3rd and 1 as they mark him at the 20. So big pickup there for Helton on the screen. Had a couple blocks up the middle and got ahead for good yardage. Slot right, 2 receivers out to the left. May takes the snap, hands it off to Helton. He goes to the left-hand side. He's got a first down and punishes the tackler as Conroe came up to make the stop and ended up on his back. Helton, we see, likes to lower the boom and finish his run. First down, Bedford. Approaching 9 minutes to go here in the game. 14-14 is your score. The Bulldogs with the ball. Coming out of their own side of the field, they were backed up to the 6-yard line. They're on the 26 now. They take the snap and hand it off to the motion man. Here's Westcott trying to get out the right side. And that ball goes on the ground, and it's another fumble covered by Quentin Tetro. We saw him helped off the field a few moments ago, and here he covers a fumble. Westcott gets hit. The ball pops out. Tetro is right there. And the Broncos in great field position as the ball is marked on the 30-yard line. Huge play there for the Broncos, and let's see if they can capitalize.
Another big ask here for the Bulldog defense to hold firm here. I don't know what the field goal kicker's like here for the Broncos here. They're not quite in field goal range yet.
3 receivers right, 1 left. Crawford from the shotgun. Takes the snap, hands it off. Out to the right-hand side, that's Landmesser. Out to the right tackle, and picking up a block or 2, he gets 3 yards. We'll call it 2nd and 7.
Landmesser going to his right, then cutting up to maximize. When he saw he was about to get tackled, he just cut upfield to get as many yards as he could there. He picked up 3.
So again, the Bulldogs need to rely on their defense. These boys have to be getting tired. Again, that time of possession not as heavily in favor of the Broncos here in the second half, but certainly throughout the first it was. Crawford, 4 receiver set. Man in motion right to left, Rochelo. Takes the snap, it's a little bit high, out to the left-hand side, it's incomplete. I think that hit the ground. Yeah, and the back judge agrees with me. Suazo was right there.
And a flag is thrown. What happened?
That's probably a conduct foul. And that was a tough call. As
yeah, I don't know if that hit the ground. I think Suazo had his hand under the ball here.
They talk it over. The flag is on the field. I'm guessing it had to do with some choice words by the Bulldogs. Suazo tried to get up, play the tip drill. And we'll see what the call is. Pass is incomplete. Dead ball.
All right.
Unsportsmanlike on Bedford.
Oh, boy,
huge play there.
Not a time to let your emotions get the best of you.
And that is certainly what it did. And they'll march the ball ahead 15 yards. And they mark it at the 13-yard line for the Broncos. Massive play. Huge turnaround for the Bulldogs. Close to an interception. I agree with the call. It looked like it hit the ground, and the replay shows that it was very close, if not a very accurate call. And now the Broncos have a 1st and 10. On the Bedford 13. 4 receivers set. 2 out to the right, tight left, and a split way out to the left-hand side. Landmesser gets the handoff, and he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Jake Sheff with the tackle for loss. They mark it at the 15-yard line. So a 2-yard loss. They'll call it 2nd and 12.
Now again, if they can just keep this to a 3-point score, keep Bedford within reach here.
And they're going to have their work cut out for them. 7:25 and ticking. Even if they do keep it to 3 points, they'll need to score on this next possession. Crawford in the gun, takes the snap, hands to Landmaster. He goes to the left-hand side, coming up from the backfield, and we get 3 flags thrown. That's probably in the holding area. Back to the original line of scrimmage. That's Casamassino coming up.
It is a call.
Keeping contained. A lot of flags raining down, making first contact Poltrinari there. Ooh. Holding defense, they signal. And then holding offense? No, just holding offense. So they will march them back. Interesting. You know, you might consider declining this as the result of the play was.
No, I would take the yardage.
Yeah, push him back outside of field goal range. Okay, fair enough. Boudreau has been a great punter. I'm imagining he's their place kicker as well. So they push him back to the 25-yard line.
I mean, they've got to go to the 4-yard line for a first down.
4-yard line. So yeah, it's 2nd and 21 at this point for the Broncos offense. They get back to the line of scrimmage with 4 receivers. 2 right, 2 left. Crawford takes the snap, hands it off. Landmesser hit right away in the backfield, gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe not. They mark him at the 26 for a 1-yard loss. It's 3rd and 22.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that play call. Maybe the Broncos thought they could catch Bedford napping by giving it to Landmesser, but they definitely were ready for him and dropped him for little or no gain.
Camden Santos getting in there and disrupting the play in the backfield. And now 3rd and 22 for this Broncos offense. 3 receivers out to the right. 1 split end to the left. Landmesser to the left of Crawford in the backfield, who's in the shotgun. He takes the snap. Quick pass out to the right-hand side. Conroe has it. Dances around a little bit, but then caught. Maybe only a 2 or 3 yard gain. It's 4th. We'll call it an 18-ish. They mark it at the 23-yard line. So 19. 4th and 19. And really, I don't. They might try for a field goal here, as they're changing personnel.
Is 51 out there? Yes.
He is. They're going to mark it at the 30-yard line. Nope, 29. So
39.
A 39-yard field goal attempt for Sean Boudreau.
Watch for the fake here, though.
Watch a fake, but it's a long yardage fake situation. Snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. Wow, he's got the leg. It looks like it's wide right, though, and it is no good. Field goal attempt misses wide right. He had plenty of leg, but pushed it right.
It's definitely the right call here, going for the kick. And like you said, plenty of leg. Could have made it from 40 yards.
Jeez, man, I think he had it from 45.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
He had plenty of leg there. As Boudreaux, as we kind of figured, had enough strength in that leg to get it out there, but it is no good. Ball is marked at the 20-yard line, and the Bulldogs will take over.
So the Bulldogs managed to erase that blunder, the turnover that could have cost them the game here, and now they keep it as a tie score.
Ball gets tipped. May going back to the left-hand side, faked it out to the right. The swing pass to Helton was coming back to Suazo on this bubble screen to the left, and it gets tipped by one of those tall defensive linemen for the Broncos. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
5 minutes and 2 seconds left here in regulation.
2nd and 10 on their own 20. Landmesser trying to pump up the visiting Alvirne fans. Again, playoff crowd. This is pretty strong showing. They've traveled well. May takes the snap, hands it off to Helton. He goes to the left side. He probes around that left tackle area, gets ahead for a 7-yard gain. 3rd and 3. Mark him at the 27.
Yeah, a little ball control here would be just what the Bulldogs ordered.
Ball control, but you also need points.
Well, if they can milk the clock and get it down, a field goal will win it for them if they can get close enough.
It sure will, but again, we've seen that kicker situation vary. May fakes the handoff. Westcott out in the right flat. He's got some room. Breaks one tackle, breaks the second one, gets out close to midfield. He steps out of bounds at the 47, but a great gain for the Bulldogs.
And a great catch and throw here by Westcott. This is one of those really tough throws where you have to look completely behind you, and you have a very narrow window to hit the receiver, and that was a perfect throw by May. Great catch by Westcott. In stride, able to pick up big yardage. Another player down here for Alvirne on the ground.
I think that's Landmesser again. Looks like he's cramping. Ooh, he's in some discomfort with that cramp, probably a calf cramp, as they look to stretch that out. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, as we see on that replay. Westcott makes the catch out and away from his body, tucks it under that right hand, sheds one tackler in Caden Cox, and gets ahead for another 15 yards or so as he steps out of bounds at the 47. So the Bulldogs out of their own end. They started at their own 20. 4:34 to go in the game as the Bulldogs try to break this tie. We're 14-14 in this state quarterfinal. 2 fumbles in the last 2 possessions for the Bulldogs. One by Westcott, one by Suazo, and the Bulldogs trying to overcome those turnovers here in the second half. Landmesser up on his feet again, trying to walk off that calf cramp. And again, he's been an important part of the Alvirne Broncos offense and defense here this afternoon.
Yeah, he's been a fantastic player. He'd be a big loss if he can't get back on the field.
He walks to that far sideline. Logan Charland comes in at this left cornerback position. Into the boundary as the ball is on the right hash for the Bulldogs. 3 receivers set for them out to the left. Split end right is Landon Elsmore. Helton behind May. He'll take the handoff, go to the right-hand side. He's got some room. He's out to the 40, down to the 30, down to the 25 and the 20. 15-10. He gets tackled inside the 10-yard line. 1st down and goal for the Bulldogs. Christopher Darby comes all the way across the field and pushes Helton out of bounds at the 6-yard line. But a huge run for Helton. He breaks free for the 2nd time this afternoon. Good choice by Elsmore to not block somebody in the back, as we've seen a couple of big plays for the Bulldogs wiped out by penalties. 4:20 to go in this game. The Bulldogs 1st and goal from the 6.
Great time for big play Helton to show up, putting the Bulldogs here in goal from 6.
4 receivers set. Helton behind May in the pistol. takes the snap, hands it off. Helton goes to the left-hand side. He's got some room, down to the goal line, and he's in. Touchdown, Bulldogs. 6-yard run for Helton. Helton's second touchdown on the day. The first was a 9-yard touchdown catch. This one here, a 6-yard touchdown run. And Helton has the Bulldogs up 20-14 with the extra point to follow.
Bulldogs able to answer with 21 points after falling 14-0 down, although they've taken the circuitous route to get here with plenty of mistakes and fumbles and turnovers.
Eli Todd on for the extra point. Snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. It looks good. It is good. And the Bulldogs move ahead 21-14 with 4 minutes and 14 seconds to go in this quarterfinal game.
Plenty of time for the Broncos to get points on the board. They've got a full complement of timeouts as well. But, you know, the Bulldogs have really adjusted their defense very well in the second half, while early on the Broncos had a lot of success on this Bulldogs defense. The Bulldogs have shut the door here in the second half. They haven't been able to find the end zone, even when they've had short fields off turnovers.
See the replay there on Helton's breakout, getting ahead for a huge gainer all the way down to that 6-yard line, and just one play later able to cap off that drive. Helton now is probably above that 100-yard mark, and Zach Petrie will kick things off and give the ball back to the Broncos offense. They have 4 minutes and 14 seconds to answer that touchdown drive and try to push this game further to the edge of your seat. Petrie scoops under it, down to the 10-yard line, taken there and returned up the right-hand side, and getting out and finding some room. That's 51, Sean Boudreau, the kicker, the punter, and now the kick returner. Finds some room, and he's marked at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, he's a big boy. You don't usually see guys like him returning kicks.
He is a big boy. Did a great job of fielding that kick and getting positive yardage and setting Charles Crawford and the Broncos offense up at their own 33. 23-yard return. 4:09 on the clock. It comes down to Crawford and the Broncos offense. 4 receivers set, 2 right, 2 left. Landmesser is back from that calf cramp. He's to the left of Crawford. Crawford takes a snap. Early pressure delivered high and incomplete, looking for Rochelo and putting pressure on. Again, we talked about how the defensive line was rather non-existent in the first half, and they've done a marvelous job of bouncing back here in the second.
Yeah, Crawford had days and days, it felt like, in the backfield making throws in the first half, and not so much in the second. He's had a hurry.
Certainly there, early pressure, forcing him to pull it down and throw that pass a bit too high for Rochelo over the middle. 2nd and 10 on their own 33. Same set, 2 receivers left, 2 right, including Rochelo, the tight end, to the right side. Landmesser to the left of Crawford. He takes the snap, looks down the middle, delivers high, and batted away. Getting a hand on that one's Tamilevich, dropping from his linebacker position and getting that big left hand on the ball. Nice job there, as the intended receiver was Rochelo. And he had first down yardage, but Tamilevich got a paw on it, batted away, incomplete. 3rd and 10 for this Broncos offense.
Yeah, you usually don't see a defender come back, try to make up ground like that and be able to get himself back into the play like Tamilevich did.
As a linebacker taking his drop, getting into his zone and making a play on the ball. 4 receivers set for Crawford. Looks to be some confusion.
They've got a timeout here. They could use it.
Crawford in the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks to the right-hand side. Pressure, Casamasino, and it's incomplete. 4th and 10. Casamasino came on the blitz from the blind side and was able to pop Crawford right as he was delivering that ball. You see him right there creeping up to the line of scrimmage. Runs outside, untouched, and hits Crawford. Errant throw, incomplete. 4th and 10.
And the Bulldogs actually sent 2 blitzers. They sent Helton on the other side, and and Landmesser had to decide who he was going to block, and he went for Helton, leaving Casmacino all alone.
Huge play here as the Broncos have to go for it. 4th and 10, 3:56 remaining in this game. They trail the Bulldogs 21-14. Bedford defense with the nickel. They look like they're coming. They send 4 to Crawford, and it's incomplete. Ball delivered and off the hands of the receiver. I believe that's Rochlow again. Helton popped him right there as the ball glanced off his hands. Tough play at the end there, shoulder to shoulder there. That is not a dirty play from what we can see on that replay.
The defender has the right to try to charge the ball loose.
Sure does, and again, that's shoulder to shoulder, not helmet to helmet. It's incomplete and a turnover on downs.
And Rochlow,
you see the play right here
field,
again.
yeah.
Helton
Right
taking his drop on the linebacker, that left-hand side, and led with his shoulder and hit Rochlow shoulder to shoulder. And he's back on his feet. That was a tough pop there. But it is a turnover on downs. No yellow flags, no dirty laundry, and the Bulldogs take over on the Alvirne Broncos 33-yard line.
And the Bulldogs can milk the clock, and they don't have to get a touchdown. They can try a field goal if they have to and make this a 2-score game, lock things up.
Well, I'll bet you anything in the world this is a run play.
Yeah, all right. Good point.
You give it to Helton, and you let him do what you want. Have him run and run and run and stay in bounds and keep that clock ticking.
And Alvirne, like I said, they've got their 3 timeouts. No doubt they'll use them here.
They go heavy. Connor Flaherty, lead man in the wishbone.
Under
May
center,
takes
too.
the snap from May, who is under center. He cuts
Oh,
it up.
great hurdle.
He's got some room. He's down to the 15, the 10. He's tackled at the 10-yard line. Inbounds, they keep the clock running. And now they'll take a timeout from the official on the near sideline. Big gainer there from Helton as he cut it back up in the middle and gets ahead for some great first down yardage.
And the Bulldogs really sold that they were going to come power up the middle, and instead Helton takes it to the outside. Had plenty of room. He turned on the jets. Actually, what really sprung him was that hurdle. He was able to jump that low tackle attempt. He was able to clear that and gain big yards.
Shows his agility. The ball is marked at the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for the Bulldogs. 3:20 and ticking.
And May taking his time here, waiting
Sure
for the
will.
signals to let to no one. Oh, now we got a flag. What's this?
We get a flag. This might be purposeful. No, it's okay. So it's a false start by the Bulldogs.
Yeah,
it's kind of a silly penalty there as you stop the clock. You back up 5 yards.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
that's
sure
just
what that was about.
that's a bad mental mistake right there by the Bulldogs. So it's 1st and goal from the 15. Let's see if we can see where it happened there.
I have no idea. I don't see it.
Jeez, I don't either.
I don't know what they're looking at.
Either way, they call a 5-yard penalty on the Bulldogs. The officials are talking it over now.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what they saw. Okay, here we go. No,
1st and goal from the 15.
Yeah, they're not gonna change the
3:16 to
call.
go here in the game. You're absolutely right. They will not change the call. Wishbone formation. May is under center. 2 tights. Connor Flaherty is the lead back. Yes, I said back. In the backfield.
Oh, come
And
on.
now
we got.
the Broncos jump, and they
give
get
them
the
5
easy
back.
5 back. So hard count by May. It pays off, and they'll march ahead to the 10-yard line. And still, guess what? 3:15 left to go in this game. So they trade 5-yard penalties.
Yeah, that was no question. You had several Bronco linemen jumping.
In fact, I thought the penalty was going to be called on the Broncos as, the ball's on the 10-yard line. Not a lot of time left. The clock was ticking, and the Bulldogs offense was just waiting for it to run down. I thought they might have purposely taken a penalty there, but that's not what happened. 2 tight set, wishbone formation. May takes the snap, gives it to Flaherty right up the middle. He's ahead for 2 yards, maybe 3, and the clock runs.
Giving it to the fridge. The walk-in fridge.
William Refrigerator no, I'm sorry. That is Connor Flaherty, the junior offensive lineman and defensive tackle. Flaherty, the captain. ahead. And yes, I appreciate that 1980s reference of the Chicago Bears, should we say offensive? No, excuse me, defensive lineman William Refrigerator Perry. Down to 2:30-ish. Hand goes up by the back judge. May under center again. Takes the snap. Hands it off. Durso goes to the left-hand side. Cover that thing up. He does not. It's not a fumble, though. And we get a timeout on the far sideline. Coach Lee takes a timeout with 2:25 to go in this game. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 10 for the Bulldogs, who lead by 7, 21-14 late in this quarterfinal game.
Did they call timeout after the Flaherty run? Because it shows them with 2 timeouts.
I don't think they did.
They let it. Okay.
Yeah, it was over 3 minutes to go with that run by Flaherty. So.
Right.
So they did not. They call it here. The ball seems to be on the 9-yard line, so just inside the 10. And the Bulldogs with 3rd and goal from the 9.
If they didn't gain any more yards, this would be a 27-yard field goal attempt.
Let's see, 7-yard snap and hold. So yeah, 26-ish, 27, sure. And we see Eli Todd near side as he's warming up his leg.
In fact, during warm-ups, we saw him kicking with the ball spotted at the 10-yard line. He was nailing those.
He had a great extra point on the first PAT try. The second one went through the uprights, but it was not very pretty. He does have the leg, but it is back into the wind, although it has calmed slightly. The flag dangling over to our right on the flagpole. Wishbone formation again, 2 tights, Flaherty up front. Tries to get the hard count again. Helton takes the handoff, goes out to the right-hand side. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no farther.
That was very close to horse collar.
It may or may not have been. Either way, no flag. It is 4th and 9. 2:17 to go in the game as Alvirne calls another timeout. They have 1 remaining. And the teams will talk it over again. So it looks like Eli Todd will have a field goal attempt. The ball is spotted on the 9. He will likely set it down on the 16. Holder will be May. Snapper Brennan Krause.
There's a big kick here. Make it a 2-score game. Yeah, well, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say it's a big kick.
Yeah, good call. Good call. I like that. Well done.
Call me Captain Obvious here.
Yeah, there you go. Those commercials are phenomenal, though, Captain Obvious. Love them. Stick in your mind. And again, the Bulldogs. Big play. 26-yard field goal attempt. Brennan Krause will snap. Jack May will hold. He puts this tee on the 16-yard line. Eli Todd takes his steps back. 2:17 to go in this game. 21-14 is the score. The Bulldogs trying to go up 10 here. The snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. It looks good.
Oh,
it is good.
Barely got over.
Snuck inside that left upright. The Broncos sent the house. Looked like they got close to it as we see the pressure coming from the right side here. And the kick just sneaks in that left upright. It's good.
Wow.
24-14 is the score. Huge kick.
Can't tell on that replay if Todd angled it that way to kick it high or if it got blocked at the line.
As a kicker, you don't angle anything. You try to tuck it 3 yards inside that right upright if you're right-footed. And maybe it got grazed.
Yeah, I think there was some contact there.
Possibly pushing it just to the left-hand side. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It still goes through the uprights. And the Bulldogs go up by 10. 24-14 is your score. 2 minutes, 12 seconds to go here in this game. And the Broncos need 2 scores and 2 scores quickly. Zach Petrie back on to kick it off for the Bulldogs. The Broncos still have one timeout remaining as they tried to preserve time there, hoping that Todd would miss that attempt. They'd have the opportunity to drive the field to tie or even go ahead with a 2-point conversion. Squib kick here taken by an up back at the 26. Tackled quickly by Casamassino at the 34-yard line.
That was Charland with the return. So they gave up a little field position here just to ensure that there wouldn't be a big return.
Nice tackle by Casamassino on that coverage. 2 minutes and 7 seconds for the Broncos offense. Crawford, 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Landmesser to his right in the shotgun. He takes the snap, rolls to his right-hand side, out in the right flat, Rocheleau. He has it complete, and they tackle him inbounds. They have to go quick as they run the 2-minute drill. Inside 2 minutes, they spot the ball at the 36-yard line, and the Broncos back to the line of scrimmage quickly. 2 receivers out right, 2 left. Crawford takes the snap, looks to the right-hand side, delivers over the middle, pick, no, it's not. Very close to being picked off. Durso stepped up from a safety position, had 2 hands on it in the breadbasket, but couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, that could have been a pick 6 if Durso had pulled that one in.
Read the play very nicely, stepped in front of the intended receiver, Garrett Hall, but couldn't bring it in. 3rd and 8, 1:43 to go in this game. 24-14, the Bulldogs lead by 10. Nickel personnel for the Bulldogs with 5 defensive backs. 4 receivers set. They show pressure and they bring 5. Crawford complete to the right-hand side. Tetro with the catch, submarined right away by Dean Poltrinari. It'll be 4th and 4. 1:30 and ticking. They try to get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll need to get things set, and big play here clearly. Game on the line. Crawford delivers out to the left-hand side. Met after the completion. Suazo. It is complete, but they are short, and that will just about do it. Turnover on downs. As he does not have enough yardage, he's tackled at the 43, and there it is. The official points as a first down for the Bulldogs. Turnover on downs, 1:14 to go. The Bulldogs should be able to kneel this out.
There's still 1 timeout remaining, at least according to the scoreboard. So no doubt they'll use it on this first down snap. But boy, you know, this is a fabulous game. And I got to hand it to Alvirne. They came out with a fantastic game plan. I think they caught Bedford flat-footed, dazzled them with some of the play calls. But you know, the Bulldogs didn't get here by you know, not knowing what to do in these situations. They've been challenged a few times this year, and they were able to respond each time. So the adjustments and the ability to overcome a couple of very bad turnovers in their own end. They gave Alvirne short fields twice in this half, and the Broncos weren't able to score off of them.
4 turnovers for the Bulldogs today, an interception and 3 fumbles. They do not pay for it. Excuse me, 2 fumbles and 1 turnover on downs. They kneel it down. We're inside a minute. They should be able to run out this clock, and the Bulldogs will win 24-14. They will go on to face Pinkerton next Friday, the 22nd.
There we go.
Another kneel for May. Again, game is normally scheduled for Saturday. The teams will need to agree, and I believe they will shift to that Friday. We will bring you all the action here on BCTV and WBNH. We really appreciate the BCTV crew and WBNH.
And they are Bill Jennings on camera, Replay Jones on replay, Mark Marai on the online assistant, RJ Perkins back in master control, Andrew Fenn, executive producer, Corey Munstertiger on the play call. Thank you very much. I'm Harry Kozlowski, and the count is to 0. The game is officially over. Bedford advances. They will face Pinkerton Academy next week. Final score, Bedford 24, Alvirne 14. You've been watching and listening Bedford football on BCTV and Bedford 105.1. So long, everybody.